Welcome to the Executive's View, the sports podcast where the stakes are high and the debates are fierce. Please welcome your host, Aaron Sirius Simmons, alongside co-host Barry DeVille Jordan. Each week, we bring you into the boardroom where the elite minds of sports converge. From the gridiron strategies to the business behind the ball, we tackle the hard-hitting questions and give you an insider's perspective. So pull up a chair and join us at the table where champions are made and legends are born. This is the Executive's View. Let's get down to business.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Executive's View. We are the view from on top. You could be anywhere in the world on a Tuesday night, but you're here with us. And I do appreciate that, man. You guys know I don't do this by myself, man. I got a slew of brothers that are ready to chop it up and talk everything sports. I do think I'm going to go ahead and say this now. This show might get spicy. I'm going to say it now. So I'm going to go ahead and apologize to the mamas and aunties and them for the language that may or may not get used. If you're a member of the clergy or a saint or an ain't at one of these gentlemen's local places of worship, again, this does not represent them. I'm going ahead and apologize now. I'm letting y'all know here and now. If this conversation this evening is anything like the group chat has been over the past week, it's going to be live. But that being said, I want to get that disclaimer out there for everybody here. Unc ain't even here yet. He'll be here in about 15, 20 minutes, and you know he gives 0 Fs. With that being said, Barry's in the building. What's going on, my guy? How we doing, sir?
What's up, fam? What's going on? I need y'all to feel me with no hands. We here. The villain is in the house. Good to see everybody. Goddamn Houston hats all over the place. Somebody, please slap their mamas. Get them some help. Yeah, please. What's up, Preppy? What's up, Larry? What's up, Serious?
What's up, big guy? What's up, big guy? How we doing this evening, sir? I got my home dude, Larry, in the building. What's going on, my guy? How we doing, sir?
Yo, what's the deal, fellas? And then I had to go to my visor, man. I took my hat down, so I didn't want to be over here wild hailing y'all today, you know, for my follicle challenge brothers over here. You know, I ain't want to have no issues.
Wow.
Hey, but
man,
you know,
follically challenged. You know, I'm gonna punch you in your throat already.
Look, hey, I'm gonna just say this, man. I'm like Nino Brown today, man. It's just business. It's nothing personal.
Just business. It's just business, man. I love it. I love it. Again, I put the disclaimer out there. I said that in the chat. Like, if you got feelings, today ain't the show for you. Steve Black, Zach Lazard's in the building. What's going on, my guy? How we doing, sir?
I'm doing all right, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry I'm late. I couldn't join you guys in the green room. But you know what I'm saying? And Barry will feel me when I say this. You know, my man put me up on the share 1/4 of a square, headed to Delaware with one change of gear. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, happy it was written day to anybody who acknowledged it. Mm-hmm.
I had to put that in the group chat today. You saw my note. Listen.
Yeah.
Of course.
Illmatic is probably one of the greatest rap albums and top 10 album ever created.
Definitely.
It Was Written is my favorite Nas album. It just is, and that's no shade to Illmatic. It's just, man, listen. I can go in. I can go in.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal, gentlemen. Here's the deal, man. Again, I just got a text message from Unc. He said he'll be a little bit tardy, but so I'm going to get the party started. I wanted to kind of talk baseball a little bit, but I ain't going to waste anybody's time, man. We got a lot to talk about around this round ball. And I'm going to get right in where I fit in, man. Free agency has started. And honestly, this has been one of the most interesting free agent periods that we have seen in quite a while. And one of the big fish that has left, Klay Thompson has joined the Dallas Mavericks, leaving the Golden State Warriors. Steve, you and I spoke online about this. I wanted to give you an opportunity to bat lead off here. You said you had some things to say, so I'm going to let you talk. Klay Thompson going to the Dallas Mavericks, man. Holla at me.
You know, here's where I come in on this. Like, sometimes I feel like as fans, we sit and we think about like what we would do, you know, what we think, if we were Klay Thompson, what we would do. Like if I was Klay Thompson, there's no way I would play for the Mavericks, you know. But then you have to kind of take your fandom and take yourself out of things. And for Klay Thompson, a guy who is in the catch and shoot phase of his career, where he has not one but two guys who are going to drive to the basket and look for somebody to kick it out to, and that's Klay's game. It's like Klay is a guy who doesn't need the ball. You know, this is a guy who took 7 dribbles and scored 60 points. It's not like Klay's a guy who just needs the ball a lot and needs the ball in his hand in order to make a difference. And I feel like the Mavericks are a team where Klay's at the point in his career, like the Ray Allen point in his career, was like, look, I'll sit up in the corner, I'll spot up around the 3-point line. If I'm open, throw it to me. If not, and then he's not the perimeter defender he used to be. That's what made Klay Thompson such a special player in his prime, was that he could shoot the lights out and he could go down on the other end and lock down on defense. You know, he still can play defense somewhat, but he's not as he was before, like the injury. But I think this is a good move. I'm gonna take my Rockets fan hat off and put on just like from a basketball perspective and take myself out of it. And I think it is a good move for Klay. I don't think he needs the ball. And look, I'm sure Steph or Draymond or somebody could have been like, hey, keep Klay here. But Klay even said it himself. He's like, you know what? I don't want to be here if they don't want me here. I don't need you to go in and talk on my behalf. I'm grown. And maybe my time here has gone away. And then, you know, the Warriors probably feeling stupid for letting a guy like that, who was a cornerstone of their dynasty, walk away like this. Like, oh, we're going to retire his jersey. It's like big whoop. You know, it's Klay Thompson has done so much for that franchise, but I guess just the time just ran its course. And again, now I'm putting my Rockets fan hat back on. I hate this move. I hate that the Mavericks are getting better. I feel like the Mavericks are getting better because, again, something that the Mavericks need is shooting on the perimeter outside. Like when Luka does decide to pass the ball, he needs somebody to pass the ball to. And this is what the Mavericks have decided to build themselves around, with Luka or Kyrie driving to the basket or whatever like that, or dribble, and then passing it with 3 seconds up on the clock. And Klay Thompson is a guy who has no problem just sitting there catching and shooting. So he's one of the best, maybe the best catch and shoot guy I've ever seen in the NBA. And he still can shoot. And that's the last thing to go. We all know it's like the athleticism might fade, but as long as he still can do his elbow, like in his wrist like that, Klay's still a serviceable guy. And I think it's a good pickup. I mean, he's another vet that can help some of the young guys on the team. And I mean, in the West, you need all the firepower you can get. So I like the move from the Mavs from a basketball standpoint, but from a Dallas hater, Mavericks hater perspective, I absolutely can't stand this move.
Okay, so normally I throw this around, but I've been sitting here stewing for about 24 hours. And to be honest with you, gentlemen, it's a dumb move for Klay Thompson, period. Here's why. You got two ISO guys who, like Steve, you alluded to, dribble the ball out. Your turn, my turn, throw a lob to the big man. So Klay Thompson essentially is just going to sit over there in the corner. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
I had a commenter saying that it fits the offense. The Dallas Mavericks run offense. They run no offense. Now, to your point, Steve, Klay isn't the same Klay that he was early on in his career. So nobody's expecting him to be what he was. However, for a guy like this who chose to take less money to go to a team in the Dallas Mavericks because he feels as though they can win a championship, we all sat here on this very network and said the likelihood of Luka Doncic winning a championship is minuscule because he refuses to change how he approaches the game. So you go out and get a guy in Klay Thompson who said that he refuses to go to the Lakers, he refuses to go somewhere else because he had the chance to win a championship. There's no shot at him winning the championship. You in the Western effing Conference where you have to strap up. This dude blew out both of his knees. The reason why he got benched in Golden State wasn't the fact that he shot 0 for 11, was the fact that he can't move. And you go to a Western Conference team like the Dallas Mavericks where their offense is wide open, and people want to jump on Beyonce's internet and try to tell me that this was a good move for Klay? Now, if Klay Thompson went to somewhere like Orlando, like we all suspected that he would eventually go, it would make sense. If he went to somewhere maybe like a Philadelphia, it would make sense to me. Hell, if he joined the Villanova Knicks, it would make sense to me. They slow it down, they move it. He can do very little to his health. He can do very little. But to go to a team like the Dallas Mavericks, who has no concept of offense, who has no concept of running sets, running this, that, and the third, and then people try to tell me it's a good move for Klay, it makes no sense to me. This dude got benched because he couldn't move. This dude got benched because he lost a step. And you go to another Western Conference team?
They're not asking him to be. They're not asking him to be a defensive and Klay playing the defense that he plays now is probably still a lot better than the defense that the Mavericks already are playing. And again, it's like nobody's the Mavericks. Like one of the things they do, they can slow it down. They can run half court sets. They just choose not to. I mean, let's not act like Klay Thompson is old and decrepit and stuff like that. It's like he still can get up and down the court. Again, like we said, I think we agree, not like he used to. But again, for a guy like Klay in this part of his career, like I said, in this catch and shoot part of his career, this is a good move. If he goes to Orlando, he might have been asked to do a little bit too much because that's still a young team. If he goes to
you say catch and shoot part of his career. That was his whole career. That's all he's done. Catch and shoot on pin downs. That's all he's done. On offense, but let's not act like Klay wasn't a very good, damn near like one of the elite perimeter defender in his prime. Let's not do that. But he's not that. So he is literally just in the catch and shoot portion of his career.
Yeah, but they're not asking him. They're not asking him to be an elite defender. And honestly, I don't see any elite defenders on that defense. I think losing Josh Green is going to hurt more than people think. Having to trade him in that multi-year trade to get the sign-and trade for Klay Thompson, because I think he was a good perimeter defender. So I think you lose a little bit on that. But I think you're not asking Klay to score 25 points a game. And I think that's a good fit for him. I think you had to ask him to do that in Golden State, and that wasn't going to work. I think, honestly, he probably, to your point, series, could have got a little bit more money in other places, but the Lakers offered the same amount of money over 4 years. Dallas offered that in 3 years, and we all know that you don't pay state income tax in Dallas. So it is more money that he's actually netting in Dallas compared to LA. I agree with you, Sirius. I don't see the fit on the court with two ISO guys that slow the pace down, especially Luka Doncic. I don't like the idea of Klay sitting on the wing or sitting in the corner waiting to maybe get the ball when Luka Doncic gets stuck off the dribble and having to score. I don't like that part of it, but let's be honest. If he wants to win, Dallas was 3 games from winning the chip. It's not the worst place to go. It's not the best place to go, but it's not the worst place to go. I don't know. I think the fit would have been better in LA, to be honest with you, but anything that makes LeBron mad or upset makes me happy. So I just wish he didn't upset his dad, because his dad played for the Lakers, and that was one of the things that his dad wanted him to go to LA. But honestly, LA doesn't need – they don't need Klay Thompson. They got Bronny James.
No, boy.
We'll get there in a minute. Trust me, we'll get there.
Hey.
Larry, talk to me, man. You know, talking Klay Thompson at the moment. We'll dive into some other free agent moves that has taken place, but it looks like me and Steve are on opposite ends of the spectrum here. Where do you come in with Klay Thompson signing with the Dallas Mavericks?
Man, you know what? Hey, I'm like Barry, man. Hey, look, one more chip off the plate for the Lakers, so I'm good with it. Wherever he win, as long as he ain't end up on the Lakers, I'm good with it. Hey, there ain't need no more people.
Hey, my cousin, man. He my brother from another mother, man.
Hey, let the chips fall where they may, as long as they don't fall in LA. Hey,
Bars.
I'm going with. We talking about Illmatic. Hey, I'm going Illmatic on. I'm going Ether over here.
He's going LG Matic.
Hey, look. Hey, I would just put it like this, brother. Hey, man, look. When you the thing about the whole Klay thing that really kind of irked me, right? Klay, you tried to shit on the Warriors, bro. And he was like, oh, well, they took care of everybody else. No, they took care of Steph, then you, then they took care of the dude that they traded out of there that went to the Wizards. I forgot, Jordan Poole. Then they decided, okay, let's take care of Draymond. Then we took Steph's second bite at the apple. Now it's your second bite at the apple, and you feel some type of way, but you got two bad knees that they paid you 2 years while you was recuperating, and you feel some type of way about it. Dude.
Is he entitled to feel some type of way, though, LG?
No, they paid you. They paid you. Everybody know when it's your time to bite at the apple, you get that money. When it's somebody else's time to bite that apple, they get that money. I feel like the Warriors made him a respectable offer to get him to stay. He was feeling some type of way about it when you've already had your bite at the apple. You've already had your bite at the apple. Now we're not looking at you like prime Klay. We're looking at you like 34-year-old. We paid you 2 years while you were recuperating. And if you really be honest with you, they paid him when they shouldn't have paid him. Remember that second time he blew his knee out, he was at the fundy or something, or he was at the YMCA. When he shouldn't have been working out, and he blew that knee out, and they still paid him. But you try to throw them under the bus and was like, oh, they disrespected me and they doing this. No, they took care of you. You feeling some type of way about it now, and you want to try. I think
that's the thing that bothers me the most about it, to be honest with you. Like, no, I didn't want to cut you off, but that's the thing that bothers me a little bit the most about the way this whole thing is kind of, viewed and shaped up. Like, they looked out for you. Again, you don't know. You don't owe them anything, this, that, and the third, but you don't drop, plunkies on your way out as if the team that birthed you and raised you didn't look out for you. You know what I'm saying? I felt as though he got in his feelings, which is why I feel a type of way. Like, you were playing badly. Steve Kerr, the guy who people look at as if he shouldn't be a head coach. He inherited a good team, Mark Jackson's team. He only runs, triangle, whatever the case may be. You made Steve Kerr bench you. That was your doing. Like, the
crazy part about it. Everybody kept calling for them to bench Klay, and he still kept starting him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Klay put in a good second half, LG, and his down season is better than a lot of guys.
It is, but he was having them 0 for 11 games. Everybody kept calling to bench.
He had the 1 0 for 10 game where they counted the most, and I think
he was shooting bad. He was shooting so bad. Everybody kept thinking
like.
But
I had him in fantasy. This dude was giving me 8 points. 2 for 15 from the field, and I mean he was giving me that consistently. I had to let him go. I'm saying,
but think about it like this, though, guys. And I'm going to ask this to Sirius and LG because LG has the floor. Don't you think if you were Klay Thompson, as much as you put in, yes, I had the 2 knee injuries and lost 2 years of my career. But as much as I've given to this organization, for you not to take care of me a little bit better than $50 million for 3 years, when you took care of Jordan Poole, who got the money, didn't deserve it, Draymond Green, who got the money, has embarrassed the organization at every turn, Andrew Wiggins, who got the money, I don't want to say that he quit
He
on
about
the
to get
team.
moved.
That we're not saying that, but he wasn't available for a period of time because of personal reasons. All these guys got their bag and got baggage with it. I
Okay,
didn't
but Barry,
get my bag, and I didn't do anything to disrespect this
okay, Barry,
organization.
let me cut you off right there.
No, I just want to know, like, is it right?
This is where I differ on that, right? Because Jordan Poole, it was his first bite at the apple. Remember, he was a second round pick. Draymond Green, it was his second bite at the apple. He was a second round pick. Andrew Wiggins was a first round pick, but he was their first time re-signing up with the Warriors. Clay, we took care of you on your first contract. Your second contract, when you going back again, we're not going to look at you like, okay, now you haven't been getting paid, and now we need to, throw a little extra in because you haven't been getting paid. You've already been paid. We've already broken you off. If he was still producing at a Curry level, he wouldn't be on the Mavericks. He would still be in the war, but you haven't. So don't talk crap about these people because they selling you. We're gonna do a little something for you because I feel like it was a respectable offer considering Clay's injury history. He's lost a step on defense. His shooting has been erratic. He did rebound second half of the year, but it was like Aaron said, dude was putting up 3 for 10 games, 3 for 12 games from Clay. So they looking at you like, okay, we're gonna throw a little extra in you, but you are a diminished player. So I didn't like that part of it. But again, like I said, players getting their feelings about certain things and they feel a certain way. So we're gonna see if they mend them wounds or whatever they're gonna do. But from a pure basketball standpoint, I'm a Rockets fan, so I hate it. But when you look at it, like whatever extra weapons you can give Luka, you don't know what's gonna happen. Whatever you can give extra to Kyrie to take another playoff, because I hate to say it, regardless of Clay lost a step on D, Clay not Clay anymore, ain't nobody leaving Clay open up for threes. And you ain't leaving Clay open for wide open threes. No, I don't care what you say. You're not gonna take those chances on it.
Right.
But it is something to be said about somebody coming to your team that's won 4 chips, that's been through.
Yeah, and they needed that veteran who has been all the way to the top. But
Kyrie's been there.
For me, but Kyrie's only been there one time.
I think that's different. I mean,
Clay been there 4.
Because Kyrie's been there, but when they needed him in the playoffs,
Kyrie, I get Kyrie.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Is like Klay Thompson brings that veteran, that championship pedigree to a team that needs it. It's just, again, not taking anything away from Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving has, but it's like it was a program. It was a dynasty. People use that word a lot, stuff like that. It was the Warriors dynasty that he was a part of, right. And he was a big part of it.
It's a different type of winning.
It's a different type, exactly. It's a different type of winning when you win consistently and not just win a bunch of games, but win championships. And again, it's like you guys are kind of like helping me make my point. So he got 2 bad knees. He can't do what he used to do. So what better place for him to go than somewhere where he won't be asked to do a whole bunch? He goes to Orlando, where maybe a lot of people thought he was going to go. He's going to be asked to probably do a little bit more than just like shoot. Why I thought he would win. What makes Orlando such a why in this point in his career would he want to start over? It's like the Mavericks are closer to a championship. Because again, we talk about the championship pedigree. Klay Thompson's at the point of his career. He ain't trying to be part of a rebuild or a young team on the come up. He's trying to get as close to another championship as possible because he's been there. He's done that. He knows what that feels like. It's like he could go to Orlando.
We got to be careful though.
That's why
Orlando's they're not that bad.
Yeah, but I personally feel
Orlando's bad. I'm not saying Orlando's bad. I'm talking about starting like again. It's like. So we're going to sit up here and say that the Mavericks aren't closer to a championship than the Orlando Magic. That Klay Thompson, Klay Thompson would be the thing to push the Orlando Magic over the top of these.
No, he made the smart. He made the championship move to go to the Mavericks. But me personally, I feel like if he really wanted one, he should have went to Denver. He should have took that pay cut He could have took
But was Denver really on the table?
They were, but he didn't even want to talk to him. They wanted to talk to him. He didn't want to talk to them.
Denver's not trying to talk to Russ Westbrook right now because
he could have came off the bench and for the Denver.
Denver's in a lot of trouble, Larry. Denver, they lost to KPC.
But he could have he could have took those minutes. Come in,
like Denver's having a hard time retooling that team around their stars right now. Like, really having a hard time,
dude. So you trying to tell me, would you rather play catch and shoot with Kyrie and Luka, two ball dominant people, or play catch and shoot with Jamal Murray and Jokic?
Oh no, I totally agree with you. Larry.
Like,
Denver is a better fit.
Yeah. We're talking about like. Explain to me why the Mavericks are a bad fit, but yet the Magic are so much of a better fit. That's what I'm saying.
No. Because of the style of ball, because of how they play basketball, it's a much slower, methodical game for the Orlando Magic. And
that's
so
what the Nuggets do. The Nuggets play.
No, I think the Magic are a little faster paced.
The Magic run up and down the court all night.
I think they're faster paced.
The Magic play fast.
Yeah, they do. I watch them. I watch them
compared to the Dallas Mavericks, compared to the Denver Nuggets.
I don't see Dallas getting up and down the court like that. Not with fat Luka slowing the game down.
Kyrie Irving is one of the fastest players in the league. So, of course, the tempo that the Mavericks are going to play is going to be miles above just about any team in the league. You know, it's like
first of all, you got to put Luka in the wheelbarrow and wheel him up and down the court. That slows the pace down right there. I don't know what kind of pace we're talking about, but no, I think, to be honest with you, I think Denver, to Larry's point, is a better fit for Clay than any other team. But like I said, I think Denver's having a hard time retooling that team to a championship caliber team. I think, who did they lose?
He would have just had to take a pay cut. He
off
was
their
trying to take a pay
team?
cut.
The guard. Who was the guard that they lost off that championship?
Bruce Brown.
That was the big hit. They haven't replaced him.
Yeah, they didn't replace Bruce Brown. KPC, like, who going to Orlando. You know what I'm saying? It's like, which is a popular team around here these days. Like, again, like they are, the Nuggets, to kind of pivot a little bit, the Nuggets are like, I don't know. It's like, did they catch lightning in a bottle? It's one of those things where, like, hey, it was looking like the Nuggets were built to last. And it's just so funny how, like, the wind blows a little bit in each direction, and now it's like the Nuggets are really in a crossroads here where it's like they got to figure it out. They got to do some retooling to do, because it's like when you have a guy like Jokic in his prime and a guy like Murray, it's like you have to strike while the iron is hot, and now is not the time for the Nuggets to be cheap.
Yeah.
No, you got to go for it. I think I like what's been going on in the offseason. I think some of these teams are quietly making some moves that are improving their team. Like, I honestly think the Thunder are having a pretty damn good offseason.
They signed Hartenstein to a 3-year deal, which is big, which was huge.
I think that's a great move. It hurts the Knicks, but I think that's a big man that they needed to push Chet to the 4. And now you have a passing big man that can play some defense. And let's not forget about Caruso being another wing defender, good on-ball defender too. 2 areas I felt like they needed to get some help was on defense, and I think they addressed that. I like what the Thunder's doing.
Yeah. Again, as a Rockets fan, I can't
30 draft picks and 50
exactly.
Yeah, I also, what's funny is that another team out west, I like what the Clippers are doing.
Me too.
The Clippers are quietly putting together a nice little team. It's just like, okay, so Paul George goes to Philly. But like the things that they're doing in replacement of that is like, they're still like Kawhi Leonard when he decides to play, is like he's is like whatever, but it's
they kept Harden.
Yeah, they kept Harden, which is big. Because you talk about second halves. It's like we sat here on this show and we were like, man, hey, the Clippers are playing some ball. So and Harden was a big part of that. So Harden, Kawhi, you bring in
Russell opts in, so he gets
Russell opts in.
He's about to get traded, though. He's
probably getting ready to get traded. But it's like, you have some pieces, and they're moving into this new building. So then, I feel like the Clippers are a team that I think will make a move in the season. and we'll see what that move is. But I feel like they are putting some pieces together. I don't think they're done, but they're putting some pieces together where it's like they know they're moving into this new building and they got to put butts in the seats in this new building. And they're doing some things to like kind of keep up, in the West. So I think the Clippers, the Pelicans.
Yeah, I mean, because you look at they got Jones, they got
Jones
Jr. right, and then they
from
got
the Mavericks. Yes, I
Batum.
couldn't call his
The
name.
guy from the Mavericks,
Jones.
the guy from the Mavericks.
Yeah,
that was the
they
guy
got
you
Jones. I couldn't call his name. Yeah, so
Yeah,
like
Jones Jr.
they're-
and Batum quietly are nice deals. I think
Batum went back,
they
yeah.
pieces.
Yeah, Batum went
They're
back,
pieces
yeah.
that kind of fit a little bit together.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Zach.
Oh no, I was just saying, like I couldn't call his name, but like Jones Jr. and Batum, like the two pieces. It's like you need guys like that to build a team. Again, they're not going to push the Clippers over the top. I think the most important thing was re-signing Harden because there was some mumbles and some grumbles that Harden might be going across the hallway. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it's like the fact that Harden stayed with the Clippers, I think that's big. I think that was the biggest thing they needed to do in this offseason was like keep, Harden because Paul George had, I can't even say one foot out the door. Paul George was probably already looking at houses in Philly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
But do you think what should the Clippers have given him 4 years?
No.
I don't think so either. I don't think so. And I think the Sixers were the only team desperate enough to do it.
Well,
That's
I mean,
my thought.
talk to me about it, man. I mean, talk to me about it real quick, man. You know what I'm saying? Paul George goes to Philly, you know what I'm saying, and kind of teams with that injured big three. How do you feel about it, though? Like, I mean,
I think it puts them ahead of the Knicks. To be honest with you, when all three are on the court, I don't know any big three that fit together better than these three. Like you have big threes in other areas, but you got a big man down low. You got a guard in Maxey who's ultra quick and can get a shot and is ascending, and you got a veteran in Paul George. I just think Paul George's age, if they don't win in the next 2 years, this is a fail. I think Embiid, he's healthy throughout the season, and once he gets to the playoffs, is a fail. But the three on the court should fit together pretty well, and I think this puts them at the number 2 spot. I think the Knicks before the trade, I think the Knicks were ahead of them. Now you can't deny these three together on the court.
Above
I think
Milwaukee?
Oh yeah.
Explain to me what, even though their big three is pretty good, right, with Giannis, Middleton, and Dame Dollar. Explain to me why I would think this team can do anything. I hadn't seen anything in the regular season. They got Doc Rivers. I still didn't see anything. Giannis got hurt. Like I think they're one of the top 4 teams in the East, but like at number 4. Explain to me why I would put anybody ahead of them. I mean, I would put them ahead of anyone. Like I think the Knicks are right now the 3rd best team. I think the Sixers are the best, and then to be the man. Woo! You got to beat the man. So I think the Celtics are that team right now.
So here's my issue with this whole Philadelphia thing, and again, I'll throw it around. I cannot trust it because each one of these men individually has shown that they cannot survive the grind. Like, if this was a 3-month thing, if this was, NBA 2K with injuries turned off, yeah, it's a great looking roster. But to a man, each one of these guys has missed significant time, and this is why I laugh when people want to tell me that the Clippers experiment wasn't a fail, because at the end of the day, you got Paul George in the prime of his career. You had Kawhi Leonard, who was arguably one of the best two-way players in the game, and you had James Harden, who came in late but figured it out. You had Russ Westbrook there, and they never got out. They never got out of the first round of the playoffs. Never. That whole conglomerate of talent never got out of the first round of the playoffs. And now you bring Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Maxey together with ideas of making a legitimate run in the Eastern Conference when you got the Boston Celtics, who just won the whole thing. You got the Villanova Knicks, who retooled and look like they're going to be doing some things. You got the Milwaukee Bucks with a season of health again, the Greek Freak is the truth. And again, I have a soft spot for a brother who can pull from the parking lot. So Dame Dollar is him. You know, I've forgiven him for what he did to Chandler Parsons. And you got some other, you got an Orlando team who is on the come up that we talked about a little bit ago, who is doing some things. Like, I have a hard time believing this Philadelphia team is going to be there when it matters. Therefore, I have a hard time trusting it. Larry, talk to me, my guy. You know, PG-13 goes to Philly, trying to, you know, retool, trying to get his career back on track, if you will. How do you feel?
I mean, you know, so the first thing I'm gonna say is I didn't understand what was the big deal with him going there. Like, I feel like he could have went other places and been more successful, because you fussed about the style of the offense. You fussed about, you know, Kawhi's availability. And where did you go? To the exact same thing. Exact same thing. Embiid, literally, remember, Aaron, you were talking about it. Embiid has been hurt since he was drafted. He's a monster when he's on the court, but he's never available, especially when it comes time to the postseason. He's never available. And I can tell y'all this is another reason why I didn't really like the move. I don't think that it really put the Sixers in that position, because one, I think a healthy Bucks team is better. I think a healthy the Knicks are going to be better. The Celtics are who they thought we were. And when you look at them putting together those big three, when have you ever known a big three that they gutted the roster to form? And that's what Philly did. They gutted the roster. Now they're talking about who they can get to fill the roster in, because they're going to have to pull guys in on vet minimums. When have we ever seen that work? It didn't work when the Nets tried to do it. It didn't work when the Suns tried to do it last year. It ain't really working when the Lakers trying to do it. It don't really work when you try to put together these dudes on these max contracts. You try to fill the rest of the roster with, you know, I ain't going to say bad players.
I mean, Miami did it.
I mean, but Miami did it when LeBron was over having guys who were like perennial all-stars taking vet minimums. You can't do that anymore. The league changed those rules where you can't do that. They've basically changed the cap rules where you cannot form your own big three and then fill your roster with all these all-star level players. You can't do that. So I don't see it being I don't see it succeeding, but I don't see it putting them in a position to leapfrog any of the top teams in the Eastern Conference when healthy. And like we said, the Magic are coming. The Magic have a really good team. They added KCP, and KCP was one of the cogs that they needed, a 3-and-D guy, and he's a 3-and-D guy with vet experience, with championship experience. So, I mean, I'm not saying, you know, what the Sixers are going to do and what they're not going to do. I just don't see it as being that move to put them where people envision them to be at. Does that make sense?
I mean, I want to be fair, though. Like, didn't gut their roster to get George. I mean, Tobias Harris came off the books, and they were looking to get.
Well, I mean, they basically.
Can we not mention Tobias Harris as if he's a option?
How will the Sixers go on without Tobias Harris? Like, yeah,
it's so difficult.
$26 million.
Detroit.
They gave him a 2-year deal, but
$26 million though.
Detroit.
Yeah, I know. Detroit, but it's a 2-year deal. It's tradable after a year. It's an expiring contract after a year. You just have to spend your money to look like, Jesus is coming. Look busy. That's what they're doing. Jesus is coming.
I mean, I hate to say it.
Seriously.
But seriously, put it out there like this. In what world?
But seriously, LJ, hold on. Before you do, like, they got that contract off the books, right? They got Andre Drummond to be a good backup for when Embiid gets hurt. Not if, when. And they brought back Kelly Oubre, who I thought was a pretty good fit down there. So I don't feel like they gutted their roster. They still got to fill it out, but I feel like they got 2 better players for the guys that they let go. Good.
Okay, so let's just match head for head. Say everybody healthy. Do you see them being better than the Bucks?
No.
Yes.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Dame Dollar, Middleton, Lopez.
It's all about the fit. I'm not seeing the fit.
Okay, but I'm going to say this. Okay, and I get it. It's Doc. But Head to head, I don't see them being better than the Bucks.
That's a good point, Darren.
I don't see them being better than if you think about it, who is the Sixers coach? He's Doc. He's just a different color, but he's Doc.
I mean, it's Bud Budenholzer, right?
He's like a nurse. He's the nurse. He's nurse. He's a nurse, right?
No, Nick Nurse.
Yeah, he's a nurse. He's not a doctor. He's a nurse.
He got one championship he's bleeding off of and getting jobs. I mean, he's not. But I mean,
he's like, pay me my money.
But I don't. And look how deep the Knicks are, bro. I don't see them being better than the Knicks.
It's orange and blue skies in here, man.
Stop it now, sir.
I don't see.
No, I will not. Listen, I was not on the show last week. I did not get the chance to gloat. Do not do this to me.
I already know you would. But I don't see them being better than any of those teams. So miss me with that. I'm good. Pass the ball to somebody else.
Yeah,
orange and blue skies, baby. Orange and blue skies.
I'm not a fan.
Can I talk about my Knicks? Can I talk about my Knicks?
No, we're not doing it. We're not doing the Villanova Knicks right now. We're not doing the Villanova.
Baby. Yeah.
But speaking of Villanova, I wanted to speak on the retirement of Kemba Walker, UConn alum, played ball in the Eastern Conference for the majority of his career. I want to give his respect, man. One of my favorite memories of Kemba Walker was when he dropped the dude from Pittsburgh in the Big East tournament.
He's still falling, that dude.
I mean, I feel bad because it's a Pittsburgh guy, but a player who defied all the odds, and I was listening to him on a show today. Or maybe it was recorded yesterday, but I saw it today where he was talking about all the obstacles that he had to overcome in order to play this game that he loved. I'm a throw at the UConn guy first. He's kind of grew up with him, man. Villain, talk to me about your boy, man. Finally calling it a career. A career well played, if you ask me.
Yeah, man, he's like a classic overachiever. I thought he would be a good player, but I didn't think he'd be as good as he was in the pros. Really a special player to watch at UConn. Obviously, that the cardiac kid, that run that he had with UConn getting us that championship. He was amazing to watch, and he was really fun to watch. And but just a good kid. Just all around good kid, good ambassador to the game. I wish it would have worked out in New York. Part of me wishes it would have worked out in Boston too, but those injuries really kind of dogged him, and he played at such a level where his body started to betray him, and that's kind of where his career came to a halt. But nothing but respect and love for Kemba Walker, man. Always loved watching that dude. Like, my friend still has this jersey. Like, that's probably one of the few UConn alum jerseys that you can find out there is Kemba Walker. That's how much he means to UConn in Connecticut.
I mean, do you have this medium in that one too?
Shut your mouth, man.
Larry, talk to me, man. Kemba Walker, man, one of the best, guards to play the game. I mean, he's not on the Mount Rushmore like that, but he was just a solid dude, man. Give you, 15 to 20 on a given night, man. All-star and everything.
Hey, I get the health issues, and I get, Kemba Walker, he had a solid career, wish him all the best in the world. But the thing that pisses me off about Kemba Walker, goddamn Michael Jordan. You go on a goddamn amazing run in the tournament, and Michael Jordan got to goddamn draft your ass. Like, oh my God, we got to do it. Oh yeah, this dude is the next hottest dude. The rumor was the guy goes on a run in the tournament, and MJ is coming out of his office and be like, you know what? Screw your draft board. You draft Kemba Walker, and you pass up Klay Thompson and Kawhi Leonard to draft Kemba Walker. That's the only thing I'll say about Kemba Walker, man. Is like, dude, come on, bro. I get it. He was on an amazing run. I get it. But damn you, Michael Jordan. You could have had a good team, man. Damn. Quit following them dudes because they had an amazing run in the tournament.
I mean, a lot of people have made a lot of money on a significant run in the tournament. Believe me,
man. Look, he passed up Jimmy Butler for what's got. If it wasn't for that was actually a deep draft. If it wasn't for Kemba Walker in the tournament, I can tell y'all right now, Michael Jordan probably would have drafted Jimmy Fredette.
You know what? It's funny, man, because that BYU guy. Anyway, Steve, talk to me, my guy. Kemba Walker calls it a career. Again, and I'm a guard lover myself, so man, it was fun to watch this dude play. Again, the crossover in the Big East tournament, there at Madison Square Garden, still will forever ring in my head. Talk to me, my guy.
I mean, the run that he went on through the tournament, it is my favorite run of all time, and that's not one that's not even close. It's just like, as somebody who was an outsider, I was like, you know what? One of those things I was like, well, UConn has to win the Big East tournament to make the tournament. And something wild happened, and Barry knows about this more than I do. Something wild happened those days in New York. That team, something happened, and Kemba was a big time part of that. Was like, as they kept playing and kept winning, and it's just like he was like, y'all, like, hey, you know what? Let's just keep playing, and they were fearless. And a lot of that went from Kemba, and he was fearless, and he just went after it, and that attitude is what probably led to a lot of his injuries. Just not giving up, just going at it, just going full bore, just being just such a grinder and going at it. And I love Kemba. Kemba's one of my favorite just guards of all time. Just like, again, it's like you said, nobody's putting him on any Mount Rushmores, I don't think, but it's just like he was a good ass player, and the run that they went on to that championship is, like I said, my favorite run in the tournament. Like, not even close. I can't even think of a number two. It was just such a good,
Steph,
so entertaining. Steph, that was a pretty good run. But going to when I was like young, like UNLV, that was like ridiculous. I mean, we had the Rip Hamilton, Khalid El-Amin UConn team. That was a hell of a run. UConn has history with these beautiful runs through the tournament. So it's like, but man, Khalid El-Amin, man, like a guy shaped like me, out there balling, like, what I'm saying? But it's like, but
that was a fun.
Yeah, that was, I had to think about like that. That's funny. That was
the shot against Washington when he's falling back.
Insane.
So it's like, so that was another crazy run. But like, man, Kemba is a guy who it was easy to root for. Easy to, a guy coming from where he came from to make it where he did. Just hats off to Kemba. Hope whatever he does, away from basketball, he succeeds at and does well. And I hope he has peace with this decision to hang it up. I know it's probably hard for him, but Father Time's undefeated. So but like that was one of my guys, and like it's funny how like you see these guys retire. I remember Kemba Walker's entire career, and now he's retiring from basketball. It's just wild, like how things like that happen. As you get older. I remember this kid's entire basketball career. And it's wild, and he was one of my favorites. So I mean, salute to Kemba, and whatever he do, I hope he succeeded.
Yeah, man. One more thing before we transition, man. There's been a lot of signings going on. Donovan Mitchell gets the max from the Cavs. The Warriors have signed Anderson from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Celtics bring back Tillman. Wiseman signs a deal with the Pacers. Kind of scrolling through this a little bit. Has there been any type of deal that's kind of stood out to you, or anything that's happened that, again, outside of the big things, or anything kind of small that we talked about that kind of has you scratching your head? We didn't even talk about CP3 going to San Antonio, which I think is interesting.
Yeah, interesting to say the least. Yeah.
Talk to me, Steve.
So, like, I'm gonna back up here a little bit. I didn't get a chance to chime in about Paul George, so I'm gonna just say this real quick. I had like 3 pages of Paul George stuff, so I'll keep it short. But seriously, I just want to throw this out there that, like, again, this is a move that the Sixers made because they just saw one of their big rivals win the championship. And you have to keep pace. They just saw the Knicks, what the Knicks are doing. They just saw the Celtics just won the championship. Everybody around them is getting better. So the Sixers, I commend them for going out there and going to go get Paul George and like, hey, we know that we can't stand pat and that we have to do something. And I feel like, yeah, they will be in the upper, level of the East, I believe, because they were there already. And again, health is the biggest, question with the Sixers. So it's just, we'll see what happens with that. This Donovan Mitchell thing, he's playing the long game because I was just reading through some blurbs and stuff like that. And I guess him taking this extension now will get him to his 10 years of service. And then he'll be eligible for like a 5-year, like $370, $80 million contract. So people ask, why does Spider Mitchell re-up? Why does he sign his contract with the Cavs? That's why, because he's playing the long game, And of course, he's a good player who's going to be well compensated, and like this money is just going to keep going up and up and up. So it's 5,380 now. Who knows? By the time we get to that kicks in, it might be 400. So like because these basketball salaries are just getting out of hand. That's the thing that I want to throw out there. These basketball salaries just keep going up and up and up and up. We are all of the age of remember when Kevin Garnett got that $121 million? It was like what?
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
Shaq was the first one to get $100 million deal.
The deal that Jason Tatum just signed. What in the world?
It's
was it 5 years? 313.
Yeah, 313, 314, something like that.
Like he's literally making what, like over $62 million a year?
Yeah, like almost 62, almost 63. It's like I remember like when Shaq got his deal, when Juwan Howard signed that big gigantic deal with the Wizards. It's like what? 80
it was like a 5-year deal, like 80 something or something like that. I can't remember.
Like 80, and it's like what? And now it's like it's commonplace. It's like now no knock on them, but it's like you see guys like I don't know, like you see guys like whatever, like Bol Bol is making. Bol Bol probably like $4 million a year, whatever, like that. Yeah. It's crazy to see like what these guys are making now. I've never been like they get too much money. It's like, look, I just talked to somebody about this the other day. It's like they have to pay less guys in basketball, so you can pay them more per guy.
You got the TV revenue.
you got the TV money. Mm-hmm. So like the TV money plus smaller rosters, it's getting to the point to where it's like I wish my 6'2" left-handed son would pick up a basketball, but he picked up a guitar. You know what I'm saying? It's like
right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just one of them things. You know what I'm saying? It's like
right.
Because you look at the deal that Obi Toppin's about to get, 4 years, $60 million. That's a deal back in the day. It's like, wow, that's a crazy deal. Like that's nothing right now. Like
I just
look at Jalen Brunson when he signed. I was like, yeah, the Knicks needed him, and people were like, he paid him too much money, $20-something million a year compared to 60. You do the math. You know what I mean? That's a steal that the Knicks got Jalen Brunson on, a steal. And he's going to get paid.
Max Christie is getting ready to make $8-9 million a year, which that's I mean,
that used to be a lot of money back.
That used to be a lot of money, and it's just that's for me. That's the thing. Not really scratching my head. It's just like I just sit here and I'm just like, wow. It's like look how far basketball has come. To where it's like we were freaking out about like when Jordan signed that 1 year deal. It was like 1 year, like $30 million. It was like $30 million to play basketball. Jordan would be like the 18th highest paid player in the league right now.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, Tyrese Maxey just got a 5-year, $204 million deal.
Good. He got his bat and he deserves it. He's a hell of a player.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a great player, but I mean, just the astronomical numbers that these guys are pulling in, is just insane. Again, we just spoke about it. Freaking Tobias Harris is getting $25 million a year. Tobias Harris. I know brothers at the Sportsplex right now that will dog him. And he's getting 2 years.
I ain't mad at Tobias Harris. I'm mad at the Pistons. That's on the Pistons. Oh, I ain't even mad at Tobias Harris. That's on the Pistons.
Shame on you for paying that kind of.
Please join our roster, man. We'll give you money, please.
please,
Come on, baby. It's just a couple million, baby.
It's like you've been here. It's like Tobias, you've been here before, baby. You like Detroit. It's like your old house is still there, baby. You can come back.
The scribble gloves are right where you left them, baby. Come on, man.
So
I mean, I like that deal. I like Boston getting Tatum back. I see people saying that he overpaid. Like Brown's a better player. Like, stop, man. Give that dude his props, man. Stop. Don't do that. But like, I do like I know. Pay that man his money. I don't know. It's like he beat me straight up. Listen, I don't know why Paul would not go back to LA. I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, listen, I like Wendy, but like
it did shock me a little bit, to be honest with you. I was hit the thing, like, just for the nostalgic aspect of it alone, like CP3 was supposed to be in LA with Cole, with Shaq, the whole nine, and the deal got nixed. And so now he has the ability to go to LA, a team that he wanted to go to, but he chooses to go throw lobs to the alien in San Antonio.
Well, we know why he doesn't want to go to LA, because Chris Paul needs to be the boss. Chris Paul couldn't go into that Lakers locker room and talk down on anybody. It's like he can go to San Antonio. He can be the boss. I'm the vet. Listen to me. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Chris Paul likes to do. And that's why, like, you notice none of his boys, like Melo didn't work, and it's like LeBron never really publicly, like, you know what, we want CP3 here or whatever like that, because he know him. That's his friend. He know him. You know what I'm saying? You don't. They say you don't move in with your boys. You know what I'm saying? You stay separate or whatever like that. And it's like Chris Paul is a guy, and it's like, I'm just gonna be blunt as I can. It's like he has to be the boss, and it's like for a guy who made it to one finals, who is a great player, but it's like he feels like he can just talk to people any kind of way. Listen to me. You have to listen to me. And while that wouldn't fly in LA or Philly or anywhere else, it might work for him in San Antonio, because you got a young, inexperienced team who will look at him as like the vet, and maybe they'll listen to him. But there's a reason why Chris Paul isn't on a contender.
But see, here's the thing. Like, I don't think Pop will let that joint rock. Nah. Like, here's the thing. Like, you got.
I'm not talking about like Pop. Pop will put him in his. But it's like, I'm talking about like on a level of like in practice and stuff like that. Like, that's what Chris Paul does. He like, they got tired of hearing his voice in everywhere he's been, in New Orleans / OKC, in LA. It's like I'm watching Clipped. The very good, very well done, like miniseries.
I haven't gotten to it yet.
It's very good, guys. I suggest you watch it if you haven't watched it. I'm almost done with it. And it's just like his voice just gets tiring. It's just like, and you see the failed experiment in Golden State, which we knew that was I knew that was never going to work. It was just like, it was too much bad blood, too much animosity. They had too many battles. It wasn't going to be a like bygones be bygones type thing. You knew that he was never going to fit in there. And I feel like the type of player he is, the type of leader, he claims himself to be like this great leader. The type of leader that he is and wants to be, it works better with younger guys. And the things that he says and the things that he's going to try to do and implement his leadership style will work better in San Antonio than it did in other places. I mean, it worked for the most part in Phoenix. It did. I give him props where it worked. But then when the lights were brightest, Chris Paul did what Chris Paul did.
Disappear. Yeah, man. That deal kind of shocked me. What's up, big dog?
Oh no, I was going to just say, man, the out of just all of the free agency and all, I like the moves that some of the Clippers have been making. I like some of the moves, like especially I like the moves that the Knicks have made. But you know what's puzzling? Well, I gotta get it from. So the things that's really sticking out to me, y'all, is I want to see where these dominoes are gonna fall, because I want to see where DeMar DeRozan is gonna fall at. And I want to see who's going to take the chance on Miles Bridges. I know he got baggage, but that dude can ball. And I know people have been saying, oh, well, LeBron's going to take a pay cut to get DeMar DeRozan. But they kind of in the cap hill. And I know people are like, yeah, I don't know. I think to be honest with y'all, I think that a lot of people are looking at all that dysfunction that's going on over there. And I think that's why Clay was like, Daddy, I don't want to hear that too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I get why it was like, yeah, my daddy wanted me to go play for the Lakers, but Clay probably had a little bit of, I don't think I want to. I've been coming from a well-oiled machine over here with the water. Yeah. I don't think I want to go to that. I think I want to go.
I think everybody sees that the Lakers are kind of like they're a little bit of a sideshow. To be honest with you, they're a little bit of a sideshow.
And if
what happens when you're practicing? We all didn't play ball. You know what I'm saying? Even teammates fight. What happens when Bronny come off a screen a little bit too high and somebody don't like it?
You're not even that. Fight him and his daddy. Like, fuck you and your daddy.
You gotta go check for like 8 people to get, you gotta go voice your opinion to 8 people, and it's gonna get lost in translation because you gotta go check through everybody to even say something on that team. But I want to
Rich Paul waiting for you at your locker. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
like,
hey, like JJ, is he really the coach? Like when LeBron gonna take the clipboard from him and start running things? But, you know what I mean? Like
JJ already looked like a puppet. I don't know if anybody saw the
he like stick his hand up there.
I was watching it. I was watching it in the green room.
And shining LeBron shoes.
Nah,
get out of here. Like whatever.
You know what? Like, you know what JJ looked like? JJ looked like, remember when Dave Chappelle was reading the script? It was like, hey, we be chilling and shit, and we be reading the script. Like, we gonna run this offense.
It's almost,
I ain't got no weapon.
It's almost like JJ blink twice if you're okay. It's just like it's like, yes, Bronny made it on his own merit. He is not. We do not care who his dad is. His dad, like, it's like.
I want to be perfectly clear. Bronny made it on his own merit.
Does that say merit? Does that say merit?
It's like we don't care. Even if his last name was Jones, we would have drafted Bronny.
But you know what, guys? You know what I'm gonna say is too. What the hell is going on with Zach LaVine, man? The Bulls cannot give away this dude.
They can't give him away, man.
Get this dude away.
What's going on with him? It's what we all knew. Nobody wants him.
But the dude is a proven scorer. I think it's that contract.
He's injury prone.
It's the contract. He's always injured. The question is hard. He's a 10-man lion with no heart.
Well, I don't think it has. I can't say I don't think. I think it's more about his availability and injury than it has to do with his contract. Because let's keep it a bean. If Zach LaVine was wanted, these GMs and these teams will figure out how to make the money work.
They doing like a buy one get one free with that dude. Like, man,
he's unavailable. Like, I think Zach LaVine, Julius Randle are going to be guys, along with some others that are going to be moved when the season, at the trade deadline after they played a few games and showed that they can still hoop. You know what I'm saying? But
honestly, I think the Knicks are going to stick. I think they're going to stick with Randle for this year.
I think with Zay going to OKC, they kind of have to keep Randle. That's just my.
I kind of hope they do. I kind of hope they do. That way I can hear Barry and the rest of the Knicks fans, bitch and moan about how much they cannot stand this guy.
I concur. I really do. In theory, I don't want him back. I've said it all along. But like when him, OG, and Brunson were together on the court, they were undefeated. They were 10-0. So you have to run it back. You got better. You got a guy that can score off the wing and defend. You don't have to ask Randle. Randle needs to come to the table and say, "This is not my team. This is Brunson's team."
I don't think he's going to do that. And here's the thing.
I don't think he will either.
Julius Randle will shoot you out of a game. He will take away the flow of the offense. Let's keep it.
But he can shoot you into games too. He can be that number 2 along Brunson if he accepts it.
He's not the number 2 anymore. The moment you went out and got Bridges or whatever, Mikal Bridges, he's no longer the number 2. Let's keep it a whole bean. The whole reason why I think the Villanova Knicks are going to be a legitimate squad is the fact that all these brothers been through the war together. They won a championship together.
2
in Villanova.
2.
But here's the thing. I think Mikal Bridges and Randle are interchangeable with 2 and 3s. right? If they accept, Bridges will accept it. He doesn't need the ball to be a scorer. That's why I love Mikal Bridges' game, right? Mikal Bridges' game. But Randall needs to be a 1 in his mind. He needs to accept that you're a 2, maybe a 3. Like you're a really good 3 on a good team, that you're a solid 2 on the Knicks. And if you can accept that, then the Knicks can take off. But honestly, like you look at LaVine,
Randall hasn't been able to accept that his whole career. He's came into the league
and that's been his
thinking
problem.
that he's been the guy, and then all of a sudden you're sitting on the sideline, or sitting in the window watching your team make it all the way to the Eastern Conference semifinals without you. You know what I'm saying? All that. Got to go ahead and move him immediately.
I feel you. I know where you're coming from. I felt the same way, but I feel like this whole offseason, not the whole offseason, the regular season into the playoffs has to have humbled Randall and say, like, this is Brunson's team. I'm not that dude. And when, honestly, early in the season, when those guys were on the court together, Randall was the 2. There was no question about it. Brunson was the guy. Brunson initiated the offense. Randall was down there, getting the ball after the fact. And I think once they finally figured that out, and honestly, you look at the 2 players that they flipped, you got to give Leon Rose a lot of credit, because you had RJ Barrett and you had Emmanuel Quickly, who was going to get a big contract. You took those 2 guys that didn't fit with your team and you flipped it for OG and Bridges. 2 guys that are elite wing defenders that fit this team better. You got to give Leon Rose some credit.
So here's my only issue with what you just said, and then we can throw it around, and then we can start talking NBA draft. The New York Knicks looked better once Julius Randle was gone for the year.
Yep.
But they would have been better when Randall was if Randall was available in the playoffs. I think they
I don't think so, because Julius Randle has the he has shown the fact that he can't play along with other stars. Period. He hasn't done it his whole career. 2, he has to be the guy, and the way that team gelled and came together. Again, I feel like I'm sick talking positively about the Villanova Knicks right now. But the way that team came together and gel, like the way they did, and then you go out this offseason and bring in a guy who can gel alongside with them. And again, if I am the New York Knicks, I call the Chinese, booty scratchers and get that boy gone.
There is who are you? Okay, I'll throw it right back at you guys. Who are you bringing in for Randall?
Somebody, anybody.
I don't care.
Get back some of the assets that you traded away. Get back some of your assets.
But you still have picks. You only traded away 5 picks. You had 11 picks that you could have traded. You still have your draft picks.
I'm gonna be Barry. Barry, I'm gonna just put it like this, bro. Because we all saw the way that they played, who would be the 3rd option on that team? DiVincenzo. And that dude had the green light. So you take away the green light from him, who's been hot, to give it to Randall? No, I'm not doing it.
You're bringing Hart, DiVincenzo, and McBride off.
Nah, but you know what I'm gonna tell you, and this is the even crazy thing about it. You got Villanova Knicks, so they gonna be boys. You think I'm gonna pass it to my boy, or you think I'm gonna pass it to Randall?
The black hole in Randall. As soon as he gets the ball, it's going up.
I'm going to my boy.
If he gets it together, it's great. If he doesn't, trade him out of here. We're good. It's a win-win for the Knicks.
It is going to be a filling out process. And like Barry said, I'm on team maybe Randall. You would hope. If you're a Knicks fan, you'd be like, oh, God, please let this boy have seen the light. But he might be like, well, y'all held it down while I was gone, but big juice back. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like I would hope that he doesn't come back with that attitude. I hope he would be like, you know what? These guys made it to the semis without me, and then me coming back, let me try to fit myself back in, into the groove. And then with Bridges coming, you would hope for Knicks fans' sake that he would be like, you know what? I'm gonna try to smooth myself back in. Maybe I should, change the way I play a little bit. Maybe I should be a little bit more willing to, kind of meld and mesh with everybody else. But it's Julius Randle we're talking about here. So we'll see. what happens. But I think it is a situation where he is a guy who I can see, like, you know what, we tried to bring him back, it didn't work. Somebody come take him. Detroit, please. Like come take him.
Go get him.
Like
You can play with
Tobias Harris.
You can play with
You
Tobias.
just send somebody to Detroit. He ain't do nothing to nobody.
look, man, Julius Randle from Dallas, he did something along the way. He did something.
Listen, I think it's a win-win. Either he conforms and it fits, and the Knicks take off, or if not, you can trade him, get something back. And I really, LJ, I'll push back. The Knicks did not trade the farm to get.
I'm just saying, sometimes you want to get back some of those commodities. Trade him to Chicago and get back Zach LaVine. No.
Yeah, look, Chicago's trying to package a first-round pick with LaVine to get him. I know, just to get rid of him for cheap. But I mean, the Knicks don't need another wing guy like that. But you could trade him for cheap.
But I'm just
honestly, at the end of the day, the Knicks, they'll have picks. They still have about 4 or 5 first-round picks.
I don't think that Julius Randle, his trade market would even be that value because he stays hurt so much, and we've seen him do like straight disappearing acts in the playoffs.
Is he? I think that injury was a freak injury.
Yeah, but he's been hurt before. He's been hurt before, and he does.
I mean, are we putting Randall on the same level as like Julius, like Embiid? No, but
like that kind of injury let's just keep it 100, bro. Like I'll keep it a buck, like you say. Julius Randle has had some disappearing acts in the playoffs. I'm talking about
absolutely. Why do you think I wanted him traded? Why do you think I wanted him traded?
Like, where's the that boy be?
I mean, he's better than Houdini, but like the last time he was in the playoffs, he was hurt. So
hurt or not, but he's had some disappearing acts, and I think that team.
Oh, absolutely.
I think that team actually they play better. They play better without him. But you got to remember that you got 4 guys who won 2 championships together. They know how to play together, and they know how to play together without Julius Randle. And one monkey ain't gonna stop that show. I'm put it like that.
Listen,
I'm looking at something now.
You better wake up and figure it out. Like we don't need you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He like ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Like ain't nobody come to see you, Julius. You better get it together. Like the Temptations. You know what I'm saying? They coming to see the Knicks. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. You know what I'm saying? Like get it together, man.
Julius,
I'm happy.
Y'all remember? Y'all remember when I hit all them threes that one game? Like, yeah.
I mean, it was a practice, though. Nobody's guarding you, man.
How are you gonna try to trade an all-star with the first-round pick and nobody wants you? Like, yeah, Zach LaVine is an all-star. They trying to give you a first-round. We'll take our first-round pick. You just take it, and nobody want him.
Something's telling me he ends up in Golden State, though. The Golden State Warriors have been nipping at the heel to get him.
That would be such a Warriors ass move. That would be such a Warriors ass move.
Nah, hey, why y'all playing? Why y'all playing the Warriors over here? They trying to get Larry Marketing, which I know that's who I want on my Rockets.
I saw that. Yeah, and I was like,
where do you think he ends up, LG?
I wish he'd win up on the Rockets, man. Get Jabari up out of here. Jabari can go. Hey, we're playing.
Now you're not getting Jabari for the market. Stop.
For marketing? For marketing? Bro,
you ain't getting that. That's not a fair trade. Get lost.
I do that in a heartbeat.
Automatically rejected in NBA 2K.
I do that in a heartbeat.
That trade is rejected.
I'm even going further. We got all the Suns draft picks. We can send all the Suns draft picks over too.
Yeah, exactly. Like
hey, who got D Wade's number? Who got D Wade's number? Let's call D Wade right now. And get this deal done.
Rebuild mode over in the Jazz. Hey, we gonna send you 5 first rounders.
Man, Trader Danny, man, you don't think Danny Ainge want all them picks? Man,
Danny Ainge, let's go.
He would. Oh man, he like picks. Oh man,
the only thing that come in Utah is picks. You don't get nothing else. You can't get anything.
He's the Bill Belichick of picks, man. The Bill Belichick of picks.
Yeah, like I would send all of Suns first round draft picks and Jabari for Laurie Marketing. Trade approved. Send him out of here.
Yeah, NBA.
It's gonna be a matter of time. It's gonna be a matter of time, man. But anyways, gentlemen, we've sat on this for a minute. You know what I'm saying? You know, NBA draft has came and gone. Before we start talking about the 55th pick, I'm not happy with the Rockets did. I'll leave it at that. But looking through this draft, man, did anything kind of shock you guys, or first round, second round, anything kind of shock you guys? I know a lot of these guys are no namers.
I don't know any of these dudes. I had never seen them before in my life. I know the one dude. I think that the Lakers got a really good steal. They got a good shooter that they needed. Props to that. But like, France looks like they're a superpower in basketball all of a sudden. Where they get all these picks out of France. But other than that, it's so funny. My older brother, shout out to my brother Taj, doing his music thing. He was like, "Yo, I don't know none of these dudes. You know what I mean? I don't know them. I don't know they tailor. I don't know who dress them. I don't know nothing about these dudes. Like, I'm like, I don't know them either. After Stephon Castle and William guy drafted, I'm like, well, I guess I can go to bed. I felt like Forrest Gump when he was running around. I said, well, I guess I can go home now. Like, I mean? Like, I'm done watching this draft. Like, I ain't got nothing to watch now.
I mean, Castle going to San Antonio, I kind of like that.
It's a good fit.
Especially now with CP3 there. He can kind of
absolutely. He's not ready. I'll be honest, he's not ready for the pros. He needs to. I wish he would have stayed another year and work on that jump shot. But I honestly am happy he left, because next year's draft is completely loaded, and you got to strike while the iron is hot and get your money now.
Yeah. Steve, talk to me, man. I mean, Edey went to Memphis, which was an interesting pick. I mean, if you want to talk about Shepherd, go right on ahead. But I think you and I are going to differ on that one yet again. But
it's a thing where it's like one of the first things I ever said on this show since we've been doing this show is basketball is a very simple game. Put ball and hoop. Reed Shepherd, put ball and hoop, and he can do it at a very high percentage. So. The Rockets, who are a team who don't shoot the ball at a very good percentage, get a guy who's probably the best shooter in the draft. Now, I will not argue with you that 3 is extremely high for Reed Shepherd, but this was a terrible draft.
Yeah.
Could they have gotten him? Could they have traded back and gotten some more assets and gotten him at 9 or something like that? Because obviously the Grizzlies wanted a big man. They didn't get the big man they wanted. So they let's literally get the biggest man in the draft. That'll show them. So if we can't get the big man we want, we will get the biggest person in the draft. So, but my thing is the Rockets have guys who can shoot. It's like, I can grab a basketball and I can shoot. That is shooting a basketball. But there's a difference, and you should know this, Sirius. It's like, there's a difference between shooting in being a shooter. The Rockets have a bunch of guys who shoot the ball. Reed Shepherd is a shooter. And the Rockets need shooters, not just guys who just shoot the basketball. And that's why I'm not upset about the Rockets drafting Reed Shepherd. I'm more upset with if this was your guy, maybe you could have moved back and got some more assets for him. But again, in a draft that we just talked about, we don't know these people. It's just like Tommy Davidson on the Breakfast Club. Who are these? It's just it's like I like it. I watch again. It's like, I don't know why I ended up watching so much SEC basketball this year, because the SEC was on fire this year. The SEC basketball from top to bottom was very good. So I ended up watching a lot of Kentucky games. I mean, and he has the pedigree. His dad was a baller, mom was a baller. It's just I like the player. If you don't like where he was drafted, I get it. I'm not gonna argue with that. But I still like the player, and I like what he can do for the Rockets. And I don't think he's gonna come in and start. But again, a team that was near the bottom as far as shooting the basketball got a shooter, and not just a guy who just shoots the ball.
So here's my rebuttal to that, and again, I'll let you cook. We could have traded back and still got him.
I just said that.
And again, that's my issue. And the thing is, I was feeding into the hype.
Yes, you were. And see, that's what I want to tell you. Y'all read it. Y'all fed into the hype, and y'all sat up and y'all let Woj and Wendy and all y'all get y'all all gassed up, and then look.
So I was angry. I'm not gonna hold you. I mean, I did my research and I went through and I watched, clips and I went back and watched a couple games and I mean, the brother can shoot. I will give you that, but I don't want him at 3. I want us to trade the 3rd pick and go get Jimmy Buckets or KD or something, and we did nothing.
But
That
wasn't realistic. That was not gonna happen. Like I said, you sat up here and you watch First Take and you watch all this stuff like that, and it's like it was something to talk about leading up to the draft. I never for a second was like, "Oh, are we in on KD? Are we in on Jimmy Butler?" It was something to talk about for a draft that didn't have much to talk about.
And again, here's the thing: like this particular draft was so bad with talent. Like it was one of the worst talent pool that I've seen in a very long time. I wanted the Rockets to go do something outside of the box. And we just sat there at 3, picked a shooter. Yay. I mean, it was so anticlimactic, I couldn't even really get excited for it. And that's where I was at. Again, what you said was correct. I mean, I'm not mad at what you said. I mean, again, I'm sure Larry can chime in if he wants to, since we're gonna have a Houston Rocket conversation. Barry, you're quiet for a minute. But ultimately, like, it was just so anticlimactic. It just fell flat for me. Like, I watched the introductory press conference and I was angry. I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, that should be keeping the beat.
But why? I mean, it's like, I'm not watching the draft to, like, be entertained. I'm watching the draft to, like, see, like, who the Rockets are picking. It's like, again, like,
yeah, but let the NBA tell it, Preppy, they want to entertain you. They made it too nice. They made it a family affair type thing. They think it was going on until almost 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like again, it's like I had no idea that the draft was 2 nights this year. Did y'all know?
Nobody did. Nobody did.
I'm like, and then the second round was at 4 o'clock the next day, huh?
I found out by accident.
I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, yo, it's 11:30. I was like, they still got a whole other round to do. We're gonna be here till 2 o'clock in the morning. Then like, she was like, oh well, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 4 o'clock. I'm like. But like, and then it's like
I'm leaving work. Everybody talking about Bronny getting dropped. I'm like, what? Tonight? No, right now. Like what?
Like right now. Like it's happening right now.
Right.
Like, no, but it's like, yeah, but I get it. I mean, it's like I understand where you're coming from, but it's like, yeah, it's like it's not the sexy thing. It's not trading 3 and some other picks to get Kevin Durant or Jimmy Butler or whatever like that. I understand that, but it's like I never thought that was like realistic. I think it really was just something to talk about leading up to a draft with not a lot to talk about, like I said. So
right.
Larry, talk to me, my guy.
Man. So I'm siding with Steve. I'm not mad at the pick per se, right? I get it. Y'all got one of the best shooters in the draft. You could have got him a little later. I mean, you could have traded back, got some more assets. I was more mad at the Rockets because it was like they were like teams were calling about this number 3 pick, right? You just made the move the night before your draft. You got all of the Suns draft picks. From my standpoint, I get what you're saying, Steve. Rockets needs better shooters, right? But I feel like the missing piece to unlock that offense is Jabari. Y'all know I'm not a Jabari fan. And if you're sitting on the number 3 pick, you're sitting on all these Suns picks. Hey, D-Wade, you want this number 3 pick and you want all these Suns picks? Send me Larry Marketing. I would have been like, yeah, you in the rebuild? Oh, yeah. You can replace him with whoever the hell you want to because you have the number 3 pick in this year's draft and all these other picks. That's the only thing that I had as a problem with what the Rockets did. You were sitting in a coveted spot and you did not trade it for a proven player because the Rockets have too much youth on that team. We need a more solid veteran. Larry Marketing rebounds like all hell from a 4 spot. Shoots the 3 like all we
veteran though?
Yeah, but Larry Marketing's not a veteran.
He's been in the league a little while. Yeah. He's been in the league a little while. You know what I'm saying? Everybody in the Rockets been in the league, what, like 3 years max?
I mean,
except for Fred. Fred's
You know
the
what I'm
only
saying?
vet on that team, really. But I would have
mean,
preferred them do the marketing deal, right?
I like marketing though. I ain't gonna lie. I
Yeah,
really
I
like
would have
marketing.
preferred the marketing deal if you had that number 3 pick plus all these other draft picks. Hey, look, we don't need them Suns picks. We did it to be petty. We did it to try to chase a pipe dream. We wasn't getting no KD and we wasn't getting no Book. We did that for no apparent reason. So I would have loved to see them move off of it. Like I said, I love the Castle pick. I mean, put some shooters around Wembley. Hey, look, I love that pick. I know Unc ain't here, but me and Unc, we were going back and forth. Hey, look, the Grizzlies basically got Valanciunas 2.0, which nobody thought Eddie was gonna go that high because he's a one-trick pony. He's a rebound, play D center, which we know they don't value centers like that anymore. But that was the surprise. And you know, we just talked about these Knicks and making trades and stuff like that. You know what I wouldn't be surprised of? Knicks need another center. You know who got 2 centers right now, which was shocked the hell out of me? What the hell are the Trailblazers doing?
Yeah, I was
I saw that. I saw that.
Like, what?
Yeah,
is this
unless Aiton's on the move, which I doubt because that's a lot of money. Like, I don't know what.
Hey, but they could do a swap. They could do an Ayton for
Klingon?
For which guy? No, they could do an Ayton for Randall swap. Hey, moving for the Mr. Klingon. Yeah. But I was just like, why? What were the Timber? What were they thinking in the Trailblazers? Like, you already got a center. You just drafted another center. We don't run twin towers around here no more.
Does anything Portland do make sense, LG?
No, like, it don't make no sense. But, you know, like I said, I think that you know, I think that it was a draft where, you know, they all said the top player was comparable to Tobias Harris. I'm over here wondering, like, man, dude, is there like an add-on to the NBA's league pass so you can watch the French league or something? Like y'all know we show their games overseas, our games overseas, but can they start showing some of their games over here? Because I'm like, what the hell is going on over there? I'm missing.
There's like 16 French players got drafted this past weekend, man.
I feel like I'm missing something. Like, man, do I need to see where I can get a FIBA subscription at or something? Like, what's going on? Like, am I missing some Euro Cup? Like, something feels off here. Like, what happened when the draft is like mostly dudes from overseas that we have no clue and we've never seen them play? Like, I saw Wembley play because he was playing on ESPN against American teams. And I know he was playing in the French league, but I never saw him play until he played those teams. I heard all the hype, but I'm like, oh, wow. So now I'm like, okay, maybe I did miss out something because maybe I missed, you know, these Star and what's the other guy named Rishakari or something? Like that.
You know, we'll call him Rich.
Rich. So I feel like, man, we missed out on a lot, you know.
I mean, I could see, like, the highlights, I haven't watched him play. From what I saw, the kick and ball.
Now I know we talked about the Sixers, man. You know, y'all know me, I'm a Duke fan, bro. Hey, that Jim McClain pick, that was a good pick, man. That dude balls, bro. That dude can ball, and he's another shooter to surround on that team. I don't know how much playing time he'll get. But that was a good pick to me. And then you know, the Dalton Connect pick.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the better picks in the draft.
That was a good pick, right? But I get it. Some teams reached, and that's why he failed. A lot of teams were reaching.
Yeah, but they could get right in their lap.
I watched a lot of those. I watched a lot of those Tennessee games. Like, I feel like Steve. Like, I was just watching too much SEC last year. You put a player who need the ball in his hand, and he's more of a scorer to me. You put a scorer on the team with basically 2 ball dominant people and Austin Reeves. You gonna turn that dude into a spot up shooter in the corner?
I hope not.
Like,
I mean, really hope not. Let's keep it a whole being. That's what, again, I'm a LeBron James fan, as opposed to the brothers here. But looking at how LeBron James treats his shooters, you go sit in the corner. You go right over there, sit in the corner.
Duncan, he's not a sit in the corner shooter. He's a scorer. He's a give me the ball. I will shoot some threes. I'm going downhill. I'm a scorer. So now you're taking away my game. think that they're going to take away his game, and he's not going to be as successful as he was in college.
But you only got a couple years to deal with that, though.
Yeah, but still, I think that's going to be the hindrance on his game. Is that I feel like he was a good pick for that pick, but he wasn't a good pick for that team in the way that they play. But
he fell that far. You had to pick him, right?
Well, because he's old. He's old, and if you're like 22 and you're considered,
17,
you
but
fall
they
in the
didn't think
draft.
he was going to be there. They didn't think.
But if I think he's like 23. So
He's
if you're
23.
like, if
He's
you're
born
over
in 2001.
21, you fall in the draft. Yeah, huh?
He's born in 2001, 23.
Yeah, so like I said, if you're 21, you're old in the NBA, so you fall in the draft board. If you play more than 1.5 years of college basketball, you're old, so you're gonna fall down the draft board.
I know, right? He getting ready to get his AARP stuff in the mail. Right?
He ready.
Like,
He ready.
He's ancient, in basketball years these days.
Yeah, that's not how the NBA work no more. We'll take a chance on an unproven talent who's 17 and a half versus a proven player who's 23.
Let's unpack that real quick. You know what I'm saying? 55 pick got, drafted. Obviously, Bronny James. There's been a lot of speculation about it. I got some things to say. I'm sure that Larry and Steve and Villain got some stuff to say. So I'm gonna start with Villain. Obviously not a fan of his dad, but how you feel about this whole Bronny James thing?
I don't care anymore. I really don't. I don't give a damn. I really don't. And nepotism, entitlement, it's all through the league. I don't care anymore. I really don't. You're not gonna make me say what he doesn't deserve it. Oh, he shouldn't be. I don't care anymore. I don't care. Let them deal with it. I don't feel. I really. He's not good enough for me to talk about. There it is. I said it.
I can respect it. Short and sweet to the point. You know what I'm saying? You're not wasting any energy on it.
Nope. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Serious. He's not good enough for me to talk about. Like, he really isn't. I'm talking about him because he's LeBron's kid, not because this guy had a great collegiate career. Averaged 4 points. And then he had maybe a couple good combine games. And now JJ Redick's talking about this guy deserves to be drafted. That's what we're talking about. He made it on his own merit. Okay. All right. Okay.
I mean, if you want to get technical, he said he earned his spot.
Sure. Great.
Yeah. So
that's exactly what he did.
He sure did.
Yep. That's exactly what he did. He earned it by averaging 4 points a game for a trash college team. Yep. That's what he did.
All right. I mean, I can respect it. Steve, talk to me, my guy. Bronny is now a Los Angeles Laker. Everybody's talking nepotism. Everybody's talking a bunch of other things. But what say you, my guy?
I hate to also disappoint you. I really don't have a whole lot to say about this at this point. I feel like so much has been said in the lead up about a guy who was one of the last guys to be picked in the NBA draft. If his last name was Mitchell or Smith, we wouldn't be talking about him. We'd be like, oh, like this kid who's probably gonna be playing for the G League team or whatever like that, But he earned his spot. He did. I don't care about the nepotism. I don't care about like the influence that his father and that Rich Paul may have. The whole, oh well, if you draft him, he's gonna go play in Australia. Ooh, it's like I feel like at the end of the day, it is what it is. He got drafted, and I've said this before, and I'll say it again, and this is really all I have to say. I feel like LeBron has done Bronny a big disservice because he has put a target on his kid's back. Because now you're gonna have a bunch of grown men. Like there were kids in college who were doing it. So then now these grown men are going to. They can't wait until Bronny has to switch and get on them. But from what I've told, he's an amazing defender. You know, he can really get after it on the defensive end. You know, his length and his lateral movement and all that stuff like that. You know, and I'm at a point where it's like I want to see him play in games. Summer League is right around the corner, in which he should be playing the Summer League because he's a rookie. Let's take the name away and let's call him what he is. He is a guy who was drafted at the end of the second round who should have to earn his spot. It's like the fact that J.J. Redick said he's earned his spot. It's like, what other guy drafted in the 50s in the second round has already earned his spot on a team? But Bronny's earned his spot. You know, so that's all I gotta say with that. It's like the nepotism and all this stuff like that. Like, I don't care about that. It's like, it is what it is. You know, Barry, you work in corporate America. You like you said, you worked for the E. You saw it firsthand, like what nepotism does at the high level. I mean, so it's like it happens. It's like, like Colin Cowherd, a guy who I normally don't agree with, he made a good point. He was like, when in every industry, you'll see you need some plumbing done in your house. You'll see, Smith and Sons, Johnson and Sons, or like with law firms, you'll see, Johnson and Burns. Johnson is younger Johnson's son or dad or whatever like that. So it's like, it happens in all industries. It happened in this, and it's just like, I'm ready to see him play some basketball. I'm tired of all the talk. Let's see him play some basketball.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this one pans out. I'm pleasantly surprised. But I may not be for much longer. Larry, talk to me, my guy. How you feel?
All right, so y'all know me, man. I gotta speak my piece on this, bro. And I wish Chandler was here, because Chandler was like, nepotism happens all the time. And I'm put like this: nepotism happens all the time. Black on black crime happens all the time. There are black racists that hate black people, happen all the time. But if you don't speak on it and you don't address it, that does not make it right. That doesn't make it right. So don't sit up and say that it's okay for nepotism to be okay because there's a black guy doing it this time. To say that it's okay, that's like condoning any other thing just because it's black people saying it. No, I'm not saying it. And when I come out and I say stuff about LeBron, if he would have came out and said originally, I'm gonna do hell or high water, get my son in the league, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But you are using nepotism. You are saying, okay, 1 minute, oh, he's gonna earn everything he's doing, but then you turn around and you do completely opposite. So just like with anything else, I'm gonna call you out on your bullshit. I'm gonna call you out on your bullshit because that's what you've been doing the past 3 years. You've been sitting over here, like he said, I like to control the narrative. Bronny James averaged 14 points in high school. This motherfucker was a McDonald's All-American 5-star recruit. What other person averaged 14 points in high school that's a fucking McDonald's All-American? Your name is Bronny James, and your daddy is sitting over here pulling strings for you. And I'm going to go further. We talked about rap music. I'm going to quote Cameron. I ain't gonna say the word, actors. Y'all deserve Oscars. You sitting over here on TV with these fake tears acting like, oh, I earned this. I deserve this. You ain't earned a goddamn thing. You ain't deserve a goddamn. Dude, I'm gonna be real with you. I know dudes that played in high school that averaged damn near 30 points a game, was not McDonald's All-Star, was not 5-star recruits at 6'1". No, your name is Bronny James. Just say what it is. Call a spade, bro. That's just how I look at it. And I took it personally because anybody who's played basketball, and I actually just had this conversation with one of my really close friends who was one of those guys who he had NBA tries. He was like basically in the league. And I say, dude, what about the guys when you see like Jared McClain, who's literally in tears? He was like, bro, I couldn't make it. I did this for my brother. I wanted to hear my name called. What about those guys who all they wanted to do was work their entire life to hear their name called, and because y'all plotted and schemed for the past 3 years, now that spot, and I'm not saying what the Lakers do with they pick. I could give a damn what they do with they pick. They pick and go to the trash. I want that team to never win in life, period. But for you to sit up here and say it's okay to basically hand give a guy a pick that these other guys have blood, sweat, and tears just to hear their name called, you don't know what happened in their family. You don't know what happened in their situation. You don't know. I'm going to put it like this. I'm one of them guys that I look at stuff like that. Bronny, you come from privilege, bro. You come from privilege. Yeah, your daddy worked his ass off to get up to that level, but you come from privilege and everything has been handed to you. And there are literally guys that are trying to make it to the NBA who are literally trying to bring their family out of poverty. Poverty, bro. And then you sit back and there are guys that are literally second-round draft picks. They're non-guaranteed. I don't know if y'all heard, this motherfucker just signed for a fully guaranteed contract from a second-round pick.
Multi-year
second-round pick, bro. Averaging less than fucking 3 points a game at USC. Dude, Lil Bow Wow probably could average 4 points. Chris Miller, Lil Son, they probably average more points than that. I'm just saying, bro, that's the part that pisses me off, is that you're taking away a spot from somebody who truly earned the spot. You see guys like Baycott from USC. That dude went undrafted. That dude got a national championship. That dude played his ass off at UNC, went undrafted. You look at guys like DJ from NC State. That dude played his ass off. He goes undrafted, right? And that's the part that I get pissed off about, because just to say, oh, he earned it, oh, he this and this, to take away something from somebody who else, it don't matter what color you is, and that's the part that people are really getting construed. They're like, oh, it's okay, it happens every time. If LeBron James on the NBA, okay, that's fine, because it say LeBron James and Sons on the NBA. If LeBron James on the Lakers, then that's fine, because it say LeBron James and Son on the Lakers. No, you don't own the Lakers. You plotted, you schemed, you did all this crap, you called all these teams around saying don't draft him. I hate to say it. If I was the Boston Celtics, y'all want to renew that rivalry, you know what I would have did? I would have drafted Bronny. Go play in Australia for 5 years while I hold your rights. Y'all want Bronny back? 2 first rounders.
I got your kid. I got your kid.
I'm gonna hold it for ransom.
I'm holding it for ransom.
I'm telling you, it would have been like Car Wash with DJ Pooh and them calling Snoop Dogg. We got your kid.
Dude, I would have did it. But you know what? They act like they so scared of Rich Paul because he has all these stars on his team. He's calling the team, telling them, oh, don't draft him. You know, all this other stuff. Like, dude, I ain't gonna lie. If the Celtics had the pick right before, I would have drafted him and be like, you know what? Hey, call up the league. Y'all want to sell the storyline? Father versus son. And a second round pick on the Celtics deep team, they could give 2 shits about. But we're gonna do it. You want him back? I'm holding him hostage. What you want for him? Oh, I want unprotected picks. I want unprotected lottery picks. But
I want 150,000.
Yeah,
instead of out of court right now.
I would have did it, bro. I would have did it, because how dare you tell me what to do, and how dare you take away from other dudes that have earned this? And people say, oh, all these other teams passed on them. It's only so many slots. And you giving a slot away to a guy who's undeserving on nobody can even justify this dude being a deserved draft pick. And I looked at it like from the standpoint, nobody could even look at it from the standpoint of him being a deserved McDonald's All-American. Nobody could say he was a 5-star recruit. Like, you actually taking away a scholarship that your daddy could pay for from somebody who really truly probably needed that scholarship. I mean, I hate to say it like that, because everybody that go and play in college don't make it to the pros. Some dudes just want to go and play, get a good education, and go off about their business. But you taking a spot from them even on a college level. So I'm not a fan with it, y'all. You know, I've been a LeBron hater. Now I'm even worse of a hater. I'm over here like, dude, like, come on now, miss me with the bullshit, bro. Just say what it is. Call a spade a spade. And if you were sitting over here plotting and scheming and you just said it the whole time, he over here giving people misdirections and stuff. Oh, I'm gonna play with LeBron play. Oh no, he's gotta earn on his own. Oh no, I'm not gonna stay around and hang around just for him. It's my time to go, and it's my time to go. Oh yeah, well, if he gets drafted, he gets drafted. And then now and ho, it's time for draft time, and now y'all pulling all this bullshit out. Like, that's the part that I'm like, miss me with that. I'm not gonna be the person to sit up here and say, oh, it's okay because of, you know, it's Bronny James and it's a black dude trying to do this. And, you know, I'll even, Aaron, you know where I'm gonna go with this. The same people over here talking about Caitlin Clark and the integrity of the game. How in the fuck you talking about integrity of the game and you draft and you okay with it and celebrating a draft pick who has no business being in the draft? None. What kind of double standard shit is that? That's like telling me, oh, it's okay if you do it, but no, don't do it to me. No. Our game is about integrity. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I'll even go even further. Y'all went on with me and Aaron. The same people who sit up here and was like, I'm not even gonna dignify their names because there's a whole bunch of them at them 4-letter word network. I'm gonna just put it like this. The same people that was sitting up here like, oh, we shouldn't be blasting over black coaches. Oh, but it's okay because it's JJ. It's JJ Redick. It's cool. Oh, we got to worry about the integrity of the game, but it's okay to draft Bronny, who has no business doing it. Like, man, you can't straddle the fence, bro. You can't straddle the fence with me. You gotta be right. You gotta come correct, or I'm gonna call you out on it. And that's just what it is. And the whole Bronny James thing to me is like, Bryce is the better player. Hey, Bryce is the better player. If it was Bryce, nobody would have no problem with it. We've all said, hey, if it was Carmelo's son, nobody would have no problem with it. And you know, it's like, it's one of those things where you sit back and you say to these things, LeBron, how more weaker can you look? I hate to say it, this Bronny James stuff looks weaker than the KD move to me. It looks this stuff looks weak. And when people start talking about putting LeBron up there with Jordan, man, I can put it like that, bro. Y'all know I'm going on a tangent, bro. I wouldn't even care if it was Larry Bird Jr. Man, Larry Bird Jr. would be like, man, my son can't beat me in a game of hoops. Y'all better not draft him, man. Look, man, dude, miss me with that, bro. Like, dude, like, that's the part that I think that people they want to put him on his pedestal, but I'm not that dude to put him on his pedestal. And it's just knocked him even further down my list, bro. It knocked me further down. It just even solidifies. I can tell you right now, this is probably why the Lakers, nobody wants to go play there, because they look at shit like this and they like, so you telling me I'm gonna be a backup to Bronny? You telling me I got to give up 8 minutes of my playing time to Bronny?
He doesn't have to go to the G League to develop. He'll be going right to
he'll be right there.
That's But you know what? Honestly, I feel you, LJ, but I don't give a damn. I don't.
It's not about.
I really don't care. I like the Lakers are they're a joke. Let them be a joke. You want to draft Bronny because Daddy said so? Fine, go ahead.
To me, it's not about giving
LeBron
like
runs the Lakers secretly or publicly, and everybody knows it. But fine, do what you want. I don't care. My Knicks, we'll be fine. We got enough problems with James Dolan.
I get what you're saying, but like I told you, bro, that's just like not saying nothing about black on black crime because it's black people.
But it ain't a crime. It ain't a crime.
Don't say that one is okay. I'm not saying you, Barry. I'm just saying that people are literally saying that it's okay because it's LeBron James doing it.
No, I know. No,
it doesn't make it okay.
I think like Wojo is like right because it's rampant in the league, nepotism and all that stuff.
But that's why it don't mean that nobody should say it's okay.
And I agree with you. I said it in the chat. I was like, just because everybody does it doesn't make it right. But at this point, what can I do to change it? Nothing.
No, but I'm just saying.
Do I want to change it for the Lakers? No, I hope they draft.
I hope they go to
James clan. I hope they draft their cousins. I hope they draft his sister. The little daughter. Everybody draft them all. I hope that anybody that they think is, you're not same as James. We could draft. Go ahead. Then their team would be crap, but my team.
But you know what?
At this point, I don't care.
But you know
like,
what, Barry?
I'm just not going to dignify it with my airtime, because it's like we're talking about the practice. You know, like we're talking about the 55th pick. We're talking about the 55th pick in the second round. Like,
I get
that's
it.
what we're talking about.
But then you know what? You know where I'm gonna go with this, Barry? And this is where I'm gonna say this, right? Because we talking about it. We just voicing our opinions about the stuff, right? I don't want to give them no more airtime than what we giving them right now about this whole issue, right? Steve hit it on the head. The NBA literally set aside a separate day for the second round. So you trying to tell me as my dream is just to hear my name called. I ain't got to wait till people have sleep at 3 a.m. to hear my name called because the second round and ran over. I can have my parents and my family, my friends over at 4 o'clock in the afternoon to hear my name called on this NBA draft. You telling me that that's okay to rob somebody of the opportunity to give it to somebody who's undeserving?
I mean,
that's
yeah, they're getting robbed by not having their name called, but is that player not going to be in the pros? Is DJ not going to be?
No, I'm not saying that, but it's the point of just hearing your name called. Dude, do you know?
I know, but like at the end of the day, like I just got way more to think about than Bronny James. I really don't care about him. I could care less. I still haven't watched him play. I could care less.
Yeah, it's fatigue at this point. It's Bronny fatigue.
I'm over it.
It is. I am tired of it. I just want to see this kid play. He needs to be his ass in Vegas for summer league. You know, and he needs to be playing. JJ already need to be there too. You know, like we keeping it a buck.
Because he need to learn how to coach, and Bronny
JJ need to be there. Bronny need to learn how to play and like how to start being a pro. They both need to be in Vegas.
Yeah, and then they're gonna be sitting up here like, oh, Bronny James scored 3 points in Vegas League. He's gonna be the starting shooting guard.
The first game that he scores over 20 points in the Vegas League is like, I told you he could do it. You know, he made it here on his own, man. And I'm like, I don't give a damn. Like, I really don't. At this point, I really don't. Like, I have no interest in watching him in the summer league. I have no interest in watching preseason.
Me and you are like the LeBron haters on this show, and I know Steve is a closet LeBron fan. You know,
it's nothing closet about it.
He comes out sometime, but
there's nothing closeted about it. I love LeBron.
I just think it's. I'm gonna put it like this, bro. I'm one of them type of dudes, bro, that I'm just not okay, and I'm not okay with not speaking my piece about something. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like it's the weakest move next to KD joining the Warriors. It's weak as hell, and it's even weaker that you. Like I said, I probably would have had more respect for LeBron if he'd have been like, man, fuck y'all, I'm gonna get my kid in the NBA because everybody know how people are about their sons. I would have had more respect for him if he would have said, you know what, I don't give a damn what y'all say. He gonna get drafted. I'm gonna force them to draft him. But that's not what he said. He kept saying, "Oh, he's gonna make it on his own. Oh, he's gonna prove himself to be worthy of being drafted." He hasn't proved himself to be. Even if I'm gonna put it like this, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I watched some of those combine practices that they was playing. That wasn't even against the best players in the draft.
Mm. Yeah.
Them players didn't even like. All the French players didn't come over there. All the college players didn't play.
What's going to happen? He's going to make the rookie team. You know, he's going to be playing on the Friday or the Saturday whenever the rookies play. Man, honestly, nobody's going to go hard at him in practice because he's LeBron's kid. And
I ain't even going to dig about that dude.
20 points, everybody's going to be crying. Like, I'm more concerned about the fact that. And I don't want to belabor this because I could care less at this point. But like I'm more concerned with the fact that like everybody's got this like notion like he earned it. Like, you know what I mean? He made his way. I think that bothers me more than him actually getting drafted. Like them trying him 55 is what bothers me. Like, just admit it. I drafted him because he's LeBron's kid. Just admit it. You know what I mean? Just admit that.
Yeah. Like just admit it.
I got more respect for the Lakers if we drafted him because he's LeBron's kid.
It's a ceremonial pick, and we ceremonially drafted him. But from now, I'm not even gonna dignify that dude and call him Bronny James. I'm gonna call him Quincy McCall from now on moving forward.
Yeah. Quincy McCall. Yeah. He's like, I thought Kent was in the man vocabulary.
Hey, Quincy McCall, man. Look. Hey, you just gonna find out.
He still got annihilated. That's fine. That's
he gonna go and play Juju like I played for your heart.
Quincy McCall Jr., man. That's what I'm gonna call him, man. Look, and like I said,
I gotta ride you on my bike because you my girl.
I mean, then you know what? I'm not even. I'm gonna come out like this, right? So this is gonna be my final take on this, unless I gotta chime in with Aaron. The one positive that I do like about this is I like the positive aspect of you see how much control and how much influence Clutch Sports has over the games. And when I kept telling people, I was like, look, they forced that AD trade to what's called. And I know we just talking about draft, but y'all know how I feel about LeBron. That just makes it even weaker because all you keep hearing about these stories is he need more help. He need more help. I ain't hear nobody clamoring about Barkley needing more help or Ewing need more help. Yeah, you talking about he need more help, but Clutch is actually have that much influence over the league that they are forcing trades and draft picks and all this other stuff. And I do like that fact that y'all are putting y'all influence over there. But, you know, just be blunt about it. Just say this is what it is. This is what we working on. And, you know, put that remix out with Cameron and say, man, these, you know what? They actors. They deserve Oscars because Ronnie was over here with tears. I earned this. Oh,
yeah,
I earned
you know.
I thought you were going to quote some other camera online. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
yeah, I mean, he was born on third base and thought he hit a triple. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like,
that's
you know,
all it is. That's all it is.
You know.
Hey, I didn't know all I gotta do is average 14 points in high school and I could be a McDonald's All-American and 5-star recruit.
You talk about Jordan. Jordan knew them boys was trash. That's why he didn't even go there. He was, you know, Jordan the real one for that. He's like, man, have you seen these boys play basketball? These boys,
you know. And Marcus was a better player than Bronny. I hate to say it.
Yeah, and these boys stink. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and Jordan was like, and Jordan probably don't even know them boys' name. He probably like,
you ain't messing up my good name. You better get
your Mitchell and Murray. Yeah, they good basketball players. They nice boys.
No, Jordan,
you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Jordan said, I own the team, but I ain't wasting no second round pick. Now my son, no, ain't having. Maybe you can get a try.
Yeah, he might as well have drafted one of them.
Maybe
okay,
John. Went on a in the tournament, he'd have drafted him.
All right, I concede the rest of my time to Aaron.
Yeah, you got it, Aaron. Cut the flow.
I've been sitting here chilling for a little bit, letting y'all have y'all moment. And I'm going to be honest with you, gentlemen. A lot of what you guys said, I actually somewhat agree with. I don't feel as though Bronny James, quote unquote, earned his spot into the league. But I'm not going to sit here and play like he didn't get a shot. And that's kind of where I'm going to go with this. I want to play you something that CJ McCullough said that kind of helps illustrate where I'm going. Hold on a second.
This isn't the first time that someone has been drafted by a team or made a team and it been controversial or there have been issues associated with, well, they're only on the team because of this. Every head coach that gets a job hires their boys. They hire their buddies. They hire people that they're comfortable with, people they may have worked alongside. You look at the front office. You look at ownership groups. They put their sons on all the time who don't even have experience. This is a kid who has played in college, right? He's had some issues with health. He's overcome that. He's shown an ability to work. He's a good defender. He has the upside of Derek White, probably Davion Mitchell. But this is the 55th pick in the draft. It's not like he was selected in the top 10. This is a pick in which they have time to develop him. No one in the locker room is going to care. You know why? Because LeBron James has a lot of control, a lot of power. He's arguably the greatest player of all time. And Bronny's going to be on the Stay Ready team, right? Like, for those that don't know what Stay Ready is, it means if you're not in the rotation or if you're not getting heavy minutes, you're playing games on a day-to-day basis that no one sees with staff, with players, with development teams, with coaches, and that's how you get better. I was a first-round pick in the draft, and I played in the G League, and I played in Stay Ready games 3 days a week. It's a process, it's a journey, and he has a chance now to really take advantage of this and show that with his work ethic and dedication, this is a pick that was honestly the right pick.
So, I played that to kind of outline where my head's at. Do I think that Bronny James is going to come in and take minutes away from Austin Reeves or, or anybody else? Hell no. But I do feel as though through LeBron James, he can prove that he deserves a spot in the league. Now, to Larry's point, I don't give. I'm gonna try to not use colorful words here. I don't care that other names were not called. That's not my business. That's not my bag. We live in a world where sometimes it's not so much what you know, it's who. And I really do wish that the Lakers will come out and say, we took a shot on LeBron James's kid. We feel as though LeBron James can work with him. He does have the DNA, this, that, and the third. But there were only so many picks, right? And so that late in the draft, you're throwing darts anyway. How many first-round draft picks have been drafted into this league that have turned out to be busts? There are more Kwame Browns in this league than there are quote-unquote Tom Brady's that find or late gems that make the jump. And so I feel as though this particular conversation is being driven and being pushed by people who have a personal axe to grind against LeBron James. Again, everybody sitting here and everybody in America has had help along their way. They've had help. And I'm not going to sit here and say that some help is bigger than others. But I'm kind of on the same line where Villain and Steve are. At this particular point, he's drafted. Let me see what the hell he does. I don't think he's going to take minutes away from anybody of any significance. I do think he'll play, garbage time. Again, as soon as he scores 10 points in the summer league, everybody and their mom's going to go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But at the end of the day, LeBron James handed down a legacy to his son. All of us sitting here are fathers. Okay? We all have kids of our own. Our job as fathers is to pass something down to the next one coming up. For some, it may be a job. For some, it may be money. For some, it may be an inheritance. For Bronny James, it was a shot at a dream that was his. He has came out and said, I dream to play in the NBA. LeBron James, Rich Paul, and company said, all right, bro, let's do the damn thing. Now, again, to Larry's point, the man averaged 14 points. His high school career, he averaged 2.5, 3, or whatever through college due to injury and this, that, and the third. I get it. But as I said in my opener, a lot of times it's not so much what you know, it's who. And this gentleman here, his dad is LeBron effing James. He had an opportunity handed down to him. It's up to Bronny what he does with it. It's kind of a cool story. We all congratulated Deuce Vaughn from the Dallas Cowboys for getting that phone call from his dad. And during last year's draft, when he was like, yo, you want to come to work with your son? You want to come to work with your dad? You know what I'm saying? We all celebrate that. When Will Smith put Willow on to rap and do music and this, that, and the third, nobody blinked an eye at that because it was something that was discussed. It was handed down. When Carmelo Anthony's son comes up and he gets drafted, again, the brother can ball. I mean, again, no disrespect to him, but it was something that was handed down. But we sit here on this particular network and we sit here on social media posts and we sit here in text messages and this, that, and the third and get pissed off for a father for handing the same shit down. Nobody gives a damn about the other guys. Again, the brother from NC State, he got picked up by the Cavs. I get it. Bangkok, I'm a UNC fan, got picked up by the Jazz. He's going to have his opportunity as well. It's not like these guys who didn't get their name called did not get opportunities to play and to prove themselves. The same opportunity that Bronny James has to make now. The only difference is his name got called, the others didn't. They may have a better career than Bronny James. DJ may have a better career than Bronny James, but it's not because they didn't bust their ass to get there. They busted their ass and they're going to get there. So messing with that whole soliloquy like he took the opportunity away from somebody else and they don't have the opportunity to provide for their family, this, that, and the third. Messing with that. They have the same opportunity to provide for their family that, unfortunately, Bronny James had. Now, again, multi-year deal, this, that, and the third. Again, it goes back to my initial point. It's not what you know, it's who. Remember, gentlemen, it's not what you know, it's who. Willow Smith is a multi-million-dollar recording artist making Karate Kid movies. Nobody blinked an eye. Nobody cared. Will Smith passed it down. Was Willow Smith a wonderful musical guy when he came out? Nope. Was he a great actor? Nope. But nobody talked about nepotism then. Here's my issue. The narrative has to change. The narrative has to change because, again, all LeBron James did and Rich Paul did was provide a way and an opportunity for their child to live out a childhood dream. That's all it was. He's not jumping in the starting five. I don't understand how we sitting here as fathers look at what LeBron James did for his kid and get upset with it outside of the fact that we don't like LeBron James.
Yeah, I don't like LeBron James. That's why I'm mad. I don't care. Fuck it.
I'm not even upset because of LeBron James.
Now listen, I'm a parent. I ain't handing my kids shit.
Dude, you talking, wait a minute. Wait.
I'll hand them the bill once I pay to put them through college. You know what I mean? That's the only nepotism you got for me.
I get what Aaron is
when I
saying.
die.
I get what Aaron was saying.
Yeah, I get what
you got to remember that I'm the dude that literally have told my kids teacher if they don't earn it, flunk their asses.
Yeah,
I'm being for real. Like I'm being for real, dude. And it's to me
it's
when
the
I look at
participation award society, and that's what we're living in.
I get what Aaron is saying, bro, and I get it. They did provide the opportunity for him. If Bronny James was Scottie Pippen Jr., Scottie Pippen Jr. was actually a scorer in college, a proven player, then I wouldn't have no problem with it, bro. And like I said, I'm just speaking my piece on it. But I'm gonna tell y'all something, and this is, man, I love this lady like another mama. And one of the things that she told me, because she basically handpicked me for a job, because we know nepotism does happen, and we, like Aaron alluded to, we all is who you know. It's sometimes it's people that you know that put you in these positions, right? And you know what this? She was my VP at the time. And you know what she told me? Because we were getting a lot of people that were complaining, saying that, oh, it was the fact that I'm her favorite, the reason why she gave me the job. And you know what she told me? She said nepotism works two ways. She said that nepotism works in a way where, oh, this is my friend, this is my son, this is my daughter, this is my whoever, and I'm going to give them this job. Oh, this is my son, this is my daughter, this is my friend. I'm going to give them the job because they're the perfect person for the job. And she told me most of the time, when you pick the first versus the latter, it does not work out well. And I'm not wishing bad on Bronny. I'm just saying is that I'm like Barry. They wasted a pick. They can do whatever they want to do. At the end of the day, we're going to see how it's playing out. But it looks like they picked the pick that is Bronny's LeBron James' son. We don't care if he proved anything. We don't care if he's the best fit. We don't care if there were other better players. We're gonna draft him anyway, and we're gonna see how that play out. I'm just not the fan of don't sugarcoat shit to me. Just say what it is. If they would have just said what it is, I'm good with it. I'm fine with it. You know, like I said, we're gonna speak about this. We're gonna put this motherfucker in a box and bury it, and we never gonna talk about it again. Because I feel like I just want to speak my piece, and it's done. I don't want to put no more energy into it. Like I said about Caitlin Clark, I don't want to put no more energy into it. Let's move on. And let's put a nail in this motherfucker shit. Hey, I'm gonna put it like that. Hey, I'm cussing tonight.
I'm done. I've been done talking about it. I don't care.
And you know what, Barry? I'm just gonna say this, bro. And like even you brought up the Deuce. Deuce was a good college player, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that was a magical moment. But if you watched any of his games, Deuce ball.
Yeah,
Deuce
no,
run
Deuce
that
can
rock,
play.
bro. He was just little.
He could play, but
he was just little, but he could ball.
At this point, but like at this point, I don't care about Bronny. I really
no. I don't want to talk about.
I wasn't checking
for
him
him
in
about
high
Bronny.
school.
I don't want to talk about Bronny until there's something actually to talk about.
That's it. And like I they owe me that much. Like I didn't care about him in high school. I didn't care about him in college. Only reason I know his name because his daddy. Let's be honest. And I could care less that he was drafted 55th.
Yeah, but you know what?
I honestly don't. I don't care anymore. I really don't. I'm tired about it. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of turning on ESPN and they're talking about it. Like there was a feature during the draft on night 2. I don't give a damn. I don't care until you do something. Prove it. Prove that you're supposed to be there. Like don't have JJ Redick up here talking about he earned this spot. Nobody gave it to him. All right, prove it, dude. Just prove it. I don't care anymore. Just prove it.
So let me switch to.
I'm done. I don't want to talk about it.
Let me switch the narrative right quick. Right.
I know it's nothing to talk about.
No,
we're done.
No.
I don't want to talk about this anymore. We're done.
We're not talking about the Bronny. We're not talking about the Bronny James thing. I'm switching subject. I'll tell you, I put a nail in it. And this is what makes me think about it. Because there was a quote that somebody had put out and they said Kobe Bryant probably looking down like, what the hell is going on with these Lakers right now? Because they know where in hell Kobe wouldn't have told him to draft his daughter if she was.
They said that when they hung that banner up in the in-season tournament. Not when they dropped the money. They did that when they hung that damn banner.
From a basketball state, it almost makes you wonder, like, what the hell is going on with the Lakers? And you know, like we all grew up in that era where it was the league is better when the Lakers and the Celtics are winning. And you look at like the Celtics and everybody's like, oh, they're such a model. They have all these really good players. They're drafting well. They're paying their players. They're doing this. Then you look at the Lakers and it's like, what the hell is going on? All this dysfunction over here. Like, I don't know. I'm like I say, I'm switching gears. I'm just like, okay, from the draft, it's actually starting to tell more tales about what's going on in the state of the NBA. Whether you're looking from these players that we don't know who the hell they are, from, you know, these unknown players that ain't deserve draft picks, and, you know, all this stuff from that nature is almost making us look at the NBA like, what the hell is going on with the NBA nowadays? I hate to say it like that. I know these players are getting paid like stupid money, but, you know, we look at it and we're like, okay, the draft is supposed to be one of the pinnacles of the year. It's like watching the NFL draft. You know, we get hyped up for the NFL draft, like, oh my God, you know, set aside 18 hours of my day. I'm supposed to watch this NFL draft, you know, and I'm actually more excited about watching this. Well, actually, I was a little bit more excited about watching the NHL draft, and I might be a little bit more about this MLB draft. I don't know about you guys, but yeah.
I don't know anybody in that draft either.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this whole thing shakes out. But to put a bow on it, man, I'm glad we got some stuff to talk about, man. And this NBA offseason is getting off pretty interesting. We got, you know, USA basketball ready to kick off. And I did just get word that both Dalton Kincaid and the aforementioned 55th draft pick will be.
Man, I don't want to hear that, man. Is Shepard playing in the summer league, man? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, he's playing.
Okay. Is these two French boys playing? That's what I want to know.
Let me check their roster real quick. The summer league joint. But
man,
yeah,
I'm about to be in Vegas, man. I didn't went to about 20 summer league games. Man, I'm about to be in Vegas, man. Let me know who on the rosters and who's starting and who's not.
I'll be out there the end of August.
Man, I'm normally in Vegas for summer league, man. So yeah, I want to see what I actually. This is the crazy part about it. I want to see what some of these undrafted dudes gonna do, man.
Yeah, I do too, man.
I want to see what DJ gonna do, and I want to see what, man. That dude from USC, he ball, man. That dude, man, Baycott just a winner, bro. And I want to see what he gonna do. I want to see what some of these players gonna do in this summer league, and hopefully they don't get
Gonna hurt themselves.
Yep.
Well, I just want everybody to be healthy, man. Like summer league, I love how it shakes out, and then you got USA basketball, and then we're gonna blink, and then hell, they be in training camp, and everything.
We're gonna blink it. It's gonna be time to start for the first preseason game before we blink.
I'm like, exactly. So it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. With that being said,
downloading EA 25 the demo.
Hey, bro, I'm not even gonna hold you. Yo, July 17th cannot come
look like that. Look, y'all not built like I am. It's like I watched the deep dive probably about 12 times, the Dynasty deep dive today, and I read the whole 85-page write up. So it's like I'm like that's the most important thing going on right now for me. Is like not summer league, not Euro's very important. I know y'all don't. Wish Chandler was here to talk about that, and USA soccer is in shambles. You know what I'm saying? But it's
going on there?
That's a different story for a different day. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
But yeah, man. With that being said, man, it's we see Barry about to fall asleep. Let's get us out of here, my guy. Steve, man, thanks for coming by, kicking with us, dude, man. Give us a plug and a close out. We shut it down, my man.
I mean, y'all already know what it is. Executive View. I get in here whenever I can, and when I come in here, I try to bring a certain type of je ne sais quoi, as they say, since in the French. Yeah, man. Y'all know how I close it out, man. God is good.
All the time.
Water is life. Make sure y'all staying hydrated out here in these summer months, especially. And of course, get your dubs up. Wu-Tang is for the children.
For the children.
See y'all when I see
Thank
y'all.
you. Peace. Yes, sir. Thanks so much, Steve, man. It's a pleasure sharing the space with you, my guy. Larry, you know what to do, my dude. Give us a plug and a close up and shut it down, man.
Man, I'm gonna close out like this, man. You know what? I always get a lot of people always ask me about this show, right? And they say, man, what do y'all talk about? I tell them we talk about sports. But I always have to tell them that we talk about sports, but if anybody that know about sports also translates into real life. So the conversations that we've had today or any other day, they are sports related, but we also talk about real life. Especially I love it when Chandler's on. Chandler talks about, suicide awareness, and Steve talks about staying hydrated. So I try to tell everybody that even if you're not into sports, watch it, because we are the guys that we talk about sports, but we intertwine the two between real life and sports. And if you a person who wants something genuine, and we're gonna talk about it the way it is, like I said it today. Look, we'll air it out. We're gonna get up. We're gonna say our opinions on it. We'll put it to bed. And it is one of those things where some people are uncomfortable talking about, nepotism, black on black stuff. We talk about, even when it comes to things in our work lives. And they are sports related, but they also real life. So I would just say that if anybody's out there watching and you have a passion for both, man, check us out, man, because we talk about both. And as always, man, it's been a pleasure with the crew every Tuesday. Love it. I'm out.
All right, big dog. Appreciate you, my man. It's a pleasure also sharing the space with that guy, man. I tell you what, online, offline, Larry's the truth, man. Can't stand him. Gets on my damn nerves. Stupid 49er fan. Lucky fantasy football winner. I can't stand him. I'm coming for that chip. I got him in 2 leagues this year. I'm coming for that chip. With that being said, man, Villain, talk to me, my guy, man. Another banger show, man. Straight basketball tonight. We ain't talk about we ain't talk baseball, about how the Yankees is pissing us off.
Yankees pissing us off. Tonight was the first night of Hard Knocks for the New York Giants, so I got to check that out probably tomorrow.
I didn't let the Astros fans talk about their research. I ain't worried about the Astros.
They heating up, they heating up, but nobody cares about the Astros, man. I'm more excited about checking out Hard Knocks with the Giants and see how that whole off season unfolded. But everybody. Thank you for listening. Hug on your family. You don't know the day or the hour, so make sure you tell them you love them, even if you don't like them. Just say lovely things to them. You know what I mean? Love on your family. But thank you, Zach. Thank you, LG. Thank you, Sirius, for having the show. We all do we do a damn thing, man. We do a good thing around here. So we out, man. Have a good 4th. Everybody enjoy. Be safe. Don't play with them fireworks. Be smart. And see y'all next week. Peace.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir, man. It's your boy Sirius repping now 412 and the 703, man. Such a privilege and a tremendous pleasure to be able to do this show with you guys every week, man. I say this a lot. You know, life is not so much about the bumps and the turns. It's who you got in the car with you and who you do life with. And I'm very fortunate to have a group of men at different stages in their life, doing different things in different parts of the world that I can, rock with on a regular basis, man. So it's a privilege to do this show with these gentlemen. Some of them are taking a sabbatical. They'll be back probably as soon as football season start. I'm talking, man, breaking news is, Chandler and some others will be back with us. With that being said, shout out to everybody who's been rocking with us, man. If you see the show, like the show, share the show. We got some stuff on the works, man. Shout out to my friends at Nonsense and Deep Thoughts for rocking with me, man. I'm looking forward to doing a show with them here in a little bit. Joining that fantasy football league, about to, do some things with that. Shout out to Chandler's not here, but again, 22 veterans unfortunately succumb and take their own lives a day. He always says we need to get that number to 0. As a spouse of a veteran, and many family members and friends who are veterans, I definitely echo that sentiment. And I will say this, my man Villain said it as he closed out, man. I lost an uncle over the weekend. Tell those that you love them, man. Tomorrow's never been promised. With that being said, God bless, man. Catch you guys on the next one.